self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists. What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am apparently the only person in the world that don't give a fuck about Cardi B album. Also known as Calamity Red.
Okay, whatever. We are Conversation Con Artists, back for another fantastic episode.
We are.
And we got some people with us this time.
We do.
We got number one, what's up?
AC Blow, I'm back, y'all. What's
He's
up?
back.
Number two.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Cole Jackson. Hey.
From Gubmint Name Podcast.
Gubmint Name Podcast. How you doing? Redskin is in the building.
Now, when I say it, it's a problem. But all right.
Well, you gave me that name.
I did.
Red.
Sure did. Yep. Accurate.
For everybody who's not here, all the listeners, you know, Red is gangbanging today.
First of all,
she got them red chucks on. She got that red hat. She got them red hoodies on.
I'm doing my Cardi B. Bickin' head.
My brain went to the wrong place when you said she gangbanging today. I was like, damn.
Oh no! No, don't set her up. Oh God!
Why would
she
that
going.
be the direction that you would go?
I'm just saying, it ain't got nothing to do with you. It's the word. It's the word.
We have talked about porn on this show way too much.
No, you don't talk about it enough because you don't know enough about the porn game.
I don't understand why everybody keeps saying that. I don't need to know anything
yes,
about porn. I don't.
Just for the dude that you start dating. He
no.
might want to watch it with you,
okay.
and you need to know.
I've watched porn before.
No, we ain't talking about like Mr. Marcus old school stuff like that. You need some, you need some other stuff.
I don't think my education needs to extend into the porn realm.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know what my brain connected to. He said the word. I mean, you know, unfortunate for you, but
it is very unfortunate.
Banging on wax.
God. Anyhow, where can they find you, Mr. On Point?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on-point.
I could be found at red_calamity. Where can you be found, Mr. Cole Jackson?
Oh, hey, if you was a fat girl that likes to get in my DMs, at Cole Jackson12 on Twitter, or you can hit me up on Instagram at Cole Jackson_BYNK. I am being raffled off on my podcast as well.
He is. The Thirst Trap.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
When with Cole Jackson. I didn't come up with it.
The Thirst Trap is real.
I ain't we gonna talk about thirst trapping with that dress, with your little wedding dress you had on.
I don't ever want to talk about this dress again.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out Red's dress too, what is it?
Red_calamity. And you're
it's
gonna
like
see
the fifth picture.
Damn, man.
That
You're
it
gonna
is not
dick pics all in her DMs.
Get in her DMs, please, and tell her how good she looks in that dress, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn.
This is why we don't get along. But anyhow, you don't really have social media.
No,
that
I'm
they can
anonymous
find
as hell.
He's anonymous as hell.
No.
So
Good.
No, you cannot find AC Blow.
Shit.
But
No,
if you want to, you can hit either me or On Point up, and we'll pass along any messages that you might have for AC. But
that's the thing, though. AC, like Instagram is like the new phone number. Like you try to ask a girl, hey, what's going on? Let me get let's exchange information. And she'll give you her Instagram.
I am on there, but not under this, Yeah. Yeah, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, you want to know something.
It's one of them things where you can put pictures up there, but you can't put pictures that identify any way of thoughts or way of life, like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all good. It's all good, bro.
Yeah, man.
we are still doing the listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artist, and send us a private message, or you can put it on the wall. But if you put it on the wall, everybody gonna see it. So just keep that in mind.
So all we got today is a response from Michael.
Yes.
What's up, Michael? He's from the UK.
He is from the UK.
I'm only halfway through the podcast, but just want to let you know I'm going to write a poem for my wife. Never written a poem before. Oh, and to officially request it, I love to hear a poem a week from the con.
Mike, every time I say that something's going to make me uncomfortable, you be caping for it, Mike. I don't understand why you do this to me. So now we're going to have to add poetry to the show.
I'm okay with it.
I said that if somebody requested it, because I need to shut the fuck up sometimes, apparently. I talk too much. So we will, because we have guests this week, Mike, we're not going to do that. But in the future, we will be presenting poetry. What? What's funny?
Nothing. You said because I know it's just a smooth little. You could have did a poem and we here. I would like to hear another poem from you, Red. It's fine.
No, it's okay. We're gonna do it.
We have guests this week.
We
so
do have guests
I'm not
this
gonna do a
week.
poll. Like,
So
like,
no,
come
it's
on,
good.
Come on.
It's good. We'll pick it up. we'll just pick it up next week because we want to make sure that we have enough time to let you gentlemen express yourself fully. So we're not gonna do that. But
thank you for considering us.
You're welcome. I'm a considerate ass motherfucker. So
You want to read that damn poem this week? That's your ass.
anyway, Mike, we will pick up.
We
will pick up the poetry on next week. We will do a poem next week and going forward until somebody asks us to stop. By the way, if anybody doesn't like it and want us to stop, you can also hit us up and let us know that as well.
I mean, it's definitely a limited time offer because I only got so many.
I know, me too.
I ain't gonna write new poetry for the situation.
Yeah.
You know, if I happen to have some new ones, I mean, I got some hundreds. Don't get me wrong.
No, we got tons.
So I got a bunch of them, but you know,
at some point we will run out.
Yeah, at some point.
But we do have a question that we wanted to pose to the group, and get people to answer as far as. So all of us are single and dating. And so I wanted to know what things you look at that you feel like maybe the average person doesn't look at but needs to. You understand? Like you look at how that person treats you. You look at kind of things close to them, but what kind of things outside of them do you think that people need to pay attention to or that is important to you? And for example, I always pay attention to how like people that I go out with treat wait stuff because I can gauge a lot from you. And that's not to say we got a fucked up waiter. But what I mean is I've gone out with people that like feel like they could just talk to them any kind of way because they a waiter. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like, oh, I'm better than them. So those kind of things. I pay attention to how you treat people in those positions because that tells me a lot about your character. So that's something that I pay attention to.
Yeah. I think one of the things I pay attention to is how a woman responds to things emotionally. Like, you know, can she handle adversity? You know, what kind of things make her fall apart? How much stress can she endure? You know, you never want to be with somebody that just can't handle regular everyday stuff. You know, everything's a big deal. You know,
because life happens.
Is the complete opposite of that more or less desirable? Like somebody who tough as fucking nails and don't ever respond to shit even when you think they might need to.
Yeah, I mean, you never want any one of any extreme, right? But I could deal with that better than somebody who's overly emotional. Like, I could deal with somebody that just doesn't seem to really be affected by anything before I can deal with that, you know? If I had to choose, you know.
But you would prefer somebody well-balanced.
Somebody in the middle, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, emotions are a way to gauge, especially in relationships, how that mate is supposed to respond, which is an issue that I deal with because I don't emote very well about very much. And like, I'm at the point where I'm trying to figure out, I don't know if it's because I don't really feel the emotion or if because I have a process by which I diffuse it quickly enough to look calm and gathered to everybody else on the outside.
Right.
See, but I feel like I'm not like a super emotional person. Like I have things that I obviously y'all have seen me get upset about things, but as far as probably me on the scale of like women in general, I'm probably a little bit more on the less emotional side than like the average woman. And I feel like sometimes that maybe isn't attractive to some people. I've become very good at compartmentalizing my feelings. So, you know, if shit don't work out, I'm not gonna fall apart about it. Or like I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like when people expect you to get upset sometimes, I'll just be like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to kind of, when you go through adversity, right, you kind of have to remove emotion from the situation a lot of times just to look at stuff objectively, right? So if you constantly like are falling apart over everything, that's an exhausting life, man. You know?
But I feel like some guys expect you to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like in my personal experience, like, I think I mentioned this briefly. People think I'm just mean as fucking. Like, I don't have other emotions because... Nigga. Really?
I couldn't keep it. I tried to hold it in. Shit. I didn't.
But it's not that I don't have other emotions, but I don't wear my emotions on my sleeve. So like, if you're not in my circle of people that I feel comfortable doing that with, then I'm not gonna just be this like. I'm not a super emotional person. Like I'm just not. I get upset, but like the people close to me are the people that are gonna see that. Everybody else is just gonna see red. They gonna see this, because I just don't feel a need to do that. Like, so I feel like I get points taken off sometimes because I don't react the way that people expect me to react. Because I've been through a lot of adversity, so I don't get upset about shit. Like, you know, I do get upset about some things, and other things I'm like, let's just figure it out what we need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be like emotional about it. So I feel like I get points taken away sometimes because I seem like I'm this uncaring, mean person. Like, hell, I sent these niggas AC. I sent them a very nice message in our group chat, and they thought something was wrong.
When you don't do shit on a regular basis,
I don't.
A nigga think you're dying. Shit.
Y'all was like, what's wrong?
Like, they were like, what's wrong? I was like, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate our friendship.
She died of cancer. What the fuck?
So then I get messages like, are you okay? Like, is everything all right? And I'm like, what? Yeah. It's like, but. So,
okay, Red. So how often before that have you done something like that?
I don't even know if I had. Probably never.
Oh, never.
So.
Never with us.
Yeah.
Exactly. So. How are we
I told you that though on point, like
we got a
individually.
12-year relationship, maybe 3 times.
Okay, well I ain't know them niggas that long.
All I'm saying is it got to be normalized for people to recognize it as
okay. But so the way that
not an emergency.
The way that I process that though is in my mind, and the way that I guess I take for granted that people don't think like me.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's more special because y'all know I don't do it all the time.
Wrong.
So like. So like Red ain't just like saying this, like she must actually, because she don't do this shit, like she don't get mushy, so she's saying this.
The Jamaican was in your kitchen with his machete,
ready his dick out.
Oh Jesus!
Probably so, but one in each hand.
But I don't know why he would let you send the message at that time though. So
why would I send y'all are great friends to me? That ain't gonna.
Flowers.
That's my thing.
Your flowers.
Is that no? Flowers is my flowers.
No, you could have changed it. People change things.
I would let y'all know.
Years.
The fuck, you can't change no code word without letting niggas know the code.
Shit, Jamaican might have been like, here's some flowers.
And I did receive what y'all said about doing it more often. The idea of doing it more often is like.
The way you did it is too far on the scale of outside of Red. You know what I'm saying? You could have said, I fuck with y'all.
Yeah.
That would have been that wouldn't have been, you didn't have to travel too deeply into the fucking candy cane and flower and cotton candy world of emotions.
Work. I was in therapist mode, so like the way it came out was indicative of where I was at the moment. I was at work doing like therapist shit, so it came out a lot more nice because I'm a lot more nice to my
So
clients.
basically what they saying is you got to do it more often, and then it'll become a normal thing, and then it won't even be a big deal anymore. I guess
it don't have to be normal for you. It just won't be an emergency no more. It won't be an emergency to us.
You can't be doing it.
Exactly. No, because I was like this. I said, "Oh shit, this nigga gonna die." She's dying, and I don't know what to do.
If you do it often enough, we'll just start saying, "Red having a good ass day."
Thank you.
That's what I wanted. That was the response I expected. Instead, I got, "Oh shit, bitch, you all right?"
I mean, shit.
So like I think it just depends on who you fucking with. I said that story to say that
you would go fund me or something, save your life.
there is a scale because I'm not deemed to be very emotional by most people that know me. Even though I am a very emotional person, I don't feel a need to like emote on everybody.
Yeah, so it's like you just have to have a balance. Because I'm like, okay, so in one of my relationships, a young lady was very emotional that I was with. And she told me that I wasn't emotional. Like she was like, you got this man of steel thing going on, and you don't.
Oh no, you emotional as fuck. Where'd she get that from?
I know, right? Because that's what I thought.
Who says you got this man of steel?
That's what she said.
You got this man of steel.
Basically, okay. So the conversation came up because she said, I don't think you will ever cry around me, and I said, I mean, probably not, because I'm not a crier. You know what I mean? But. I was like, I guess if it was that dire, then I might. But I really don't be crying over shit. Unless, like...
if they taking your car away. Well... I be crying over that shit.
But I mean, the way I look at life is like, is somebody dying? Is somebody sick? Is somebody... Like, real situations, right? You know what I mean? But like, just a little trivial shit, what am I going to be crying about? Like... Women don't want a man that is emotional. This is my theory. Y'all don't. Women don't want a man that's emotional.
No.
They want a man that understands their emotions.
And understands emotions in general. You need to have an understanding of emotion. But I don't want you fucking falling apart all the time. Like, the fuck is this? Like,
yeah.
Like that's not helpful. So you need to have an understanding of emotions. Yeah. But don't be all emotion. Like if because again, and I've said this before in who I'm looking for, I need somebody that when shit is get rough, because life does that, I can depend on you. We can figure this out. But if every time shit happens, you finna fall the fuck apart, like, I don't need that. Yeah, I might as well be with myself. Right now I got to baby your ass. Like, I'm finna do that.
Well, yeah, because I think I don't know if I'm emotional. I think I'm sensitive to a lot of stuff.
You can be emotional.
I can be. Right?
You're capable of it.
Okay, so if she's saying that I'm not emotional, imagine how emotional she is.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you're guy emotional. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I only know that because we've known each other for so long.
What's guy emotional? What the fuck does that mean?
You niggas like.
Oh yeah, they emotional too.
I assume that guy emotional. If you're looking at a scale of men that are man of steel who intentionally ain't gonna show emotion because they not gonna do that, you know, misogyny, sexism, men don't do that type of shit. Big boys don't cry, be tough. The message they condition us to accept, you know, as men.
Right.
Them dudes versus dudes who, you know, ain't so extreme on it. It's like, man, we'll recognize that emotional shit going on, emotional shit happen, but we ain't water working over here. Yeah. Like I imagine that's
guy. That's what I mean by guy emotional. Yeah. Is that you're?
Is there a medium?
I mean, I think the other comparison is women, where women, if this the scale where men operate on, a woman's scale don't even start till right here. You know what I'm saying? Okay. With like our shit, the lowest of men emotion on the most emotional men we find in that sense is just as emotional as the most emotional woman. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think so.
Or the least emotional
emotional woman.
And then women get more emotional from that direction.
Because see, I'm on the nigga side of women's emotion. I'm like closer to that
close
side
over to the man side
than I am to like the furthest point for women. So dude emotional is just, again, if you have an understanding of emotions, you're able to express yours, but you don't fall apart. Like you're able to express frustration. You're able to express, you know what I'm saying, the things that you have going on, but you don't fall apart from. If you have a bad day at work, you don't come in like crying or punching walls and shit, but you can express that you had a fucked up day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's guy emotional.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
I guess so.
Yeah. Y'all are guy emotional.
Shit, that's the first time I heard that term.
Well, there you go. You
ain't too bright though.
What things do you pay attention to, Cole?
As far as like what, looking for a woman?
Yeah, just like things that you think that people don't, like I said, wait staff, he said the way that they handle adversity. What do you look at?
Independence.
Okay.
How independent a woman is. Okay. I think that's a big, because I've been independent for a long time, as far as like, you know, since I was a teen. So
have you dated people that weren't independent?
Hell yes.
So a woman being independent is valuable to you?
I think so, because I can't think that goes along with being able to hold the household down. You know what I'm saying? Like if I go out, if I go out for real, you got to be strong and hold the household. Like I said before, till I get to at least 75%. When I get back on my feet, then we good. But yeah, you know, when I say independent woman, I'm not talking about this bullshit that these motherfuckers be talking about now. It's like I can't buy my own shit. Like I don't give a fuck about that shit. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. I want to make sure that the house don't fall in while I'm down. That's when I want.
So you need somebody that is able to maintain. They maintain a household. They maintain themselves before you came along.
Because I believe, and maybe I don't know how other people feel about this, but I believe in shared responsibility when it comes to the household. Okay. Like the head of household bullshit is, to me, kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to share responsibility so we can, you know, make the house run better. We need to work as a team. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like instead of like, oh, I'm the head of the house and all this, like that shit I don't really understand that. Maybe that's not for me to understand. And I think a lot of men feel that way. But personally, I feel like if we share responsibilities and we work as a team, and if we can build the household together the way we need to, and maybe we can raise our kids and all the other stuff, it works better that way.
The bulk of that head of the household shit come from the Bible.
It does indeed.
The man is the head of the household. You know, and it says something like, Go for
it. Well, I think that's I kind of agree with the head of household theory to a certain extent, right? Like I agree with what you said about two people working together, like the husband and the wife working together, right? But like if something isn't clicking in the household, it's the man's fault.
It's the man's fault.
Yeah.
But see, that's my perspective. My perspective is I think two people as a team should delegate. Like you got men. So what came from that biblical perspective of man being the head was a lot of misogyny and sexism got into the way of households in terms of man controlling the household. And so a man could have a financial analyst back in the 70s as a wife, but he would handle the finances because he's the head. Like that's what it got to be for a lot of men. It's just I run this shit.
Right.
You Instead of lead and run is different. Two different things.
Damn.
When delegation is the like if she better at finances than me, she gonna take care of the finances. You know, if I'm better at cooking, then I'm gonna fucking cook.
Right.
And listen, whoever On Point marries, if you listening, if you hear this later on, he's better at cooking than you. Just let the nigga cook. Just let him do it. Yeah, it's all right. Let him do it. He
posted some pork ribs on Facebook last week. I don't even eat pork. I was like, damn, I wish I ate pork, man.
Thank God, because I don't eat pork either, and they dog the hell out of me.
For real.
But yeah,
it's just fun.
We'll just give Cole these old raggedy hamburgers while we eat this wonderful swine.
They were raggedy hamburgers. They was not raggedy. They were delicious hamburgers.
Well, you know,
they were raggedy compared to them motherfucking real.
On Point turned his nose up at them saying, hamburger. More pig, please.
Bring in the swine.
I didn't make enough hamburgers because I put too much beef in the damn beans that I made. I didn't get a hamburger.
Damn.
You had 8 plates of pork, 8 plates of ribs.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is
5 pigs lost their life for those ribs you had last week.
I don't want me not having a hamburger to look like I turned my nose up at them hoes. Nigga, it wasn't enough. I saw people with 2 hamburgers on their butt. I said, these niggas here.
Man. Raggedy, you can't invite nobody over here no more. Raggedy.
But I was going to add to that. But the head part is, if my family fails, if me and my 2 kids end up out on the street, people across the street ain't gonna look and say, "Oh, how did that man and woman share equal responsibility in the downfall of that family?"
They gonna say that.
They gonna say, "How that man let that happen?"
Right.
And I'm willing to take responsibility for that. I'm willing to be accountable for that. If my family go out there, I will go get a fucking job at McDonald's before I let her go bullshit somewhere out here trying to make money. So to me, where my man shit kick in is when we're about to fail. I will do what it takes to make it happen.
Right.
At my sacrifice, not at her sacrifice.
Right.
So that that man shit for me is on the very bottom of that scale, and it's only when shit ain't successful. Other than that, I just really don't care. Like, I'd rather that shit be equal anyway, like on equal footing. A collaboration more than
collaboration.
Yeah. I think a lot of women take that independence part of it and they be looking like, I'm independent because I can buy my own stuff. I'm like, okay, nigga, I can buy my own stuff too. I think the biggest thing is knowing how to break away from home and actually handling your business as a woman. You get what I'm saying? Like, it ain't about purses and these shoes and all the shit you can buy. It's really about make sure your household is maintained and keeping everything on the up and up. That's how I'm looking at it.
Right.
You
know that's accurate. That is independent.
So have you thought about the idea that if one person over here is 100% independent and another person over here is 100% independent, when y'all get together, you know some of that independent barrier gonna have to break.
Right.
Like, what you feel like accepting some dependence will look like? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to another person.
I don't know. That's the thing. That's a hard question for me to ask because I can't give you the answer on that. I mean, compromise comes with relationships anyway. Am I right or wrong?
Well, yeah. I think you can look at. So if you got 2 independent people, right, you kind of look at each area in the other person's life and see who's doing better in what area, right?
And that's your area. Yeah. That's the area you have.
Even though you independent, everybody got weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to have somebody that's supposed to make up for what your weakness is.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I look at it. I mean, like I said, believe me, I haven't been in a relationship in over a year, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
There's some people who don't know how to do that because they've been independent for so long.
And I mean,
I think I have that problem.
That's a real fear of mine.
Going into
a situation and it's so difficult for me to accept help. Like, it's so difficult for me because I feel like I should be able to do everything. And when I'm not, it fucks with me so bad. And so accepting that this person is there and is willing and this is kind of what their role is. And it isn't even anything about being like super independent or I don't need your help type shit. It's just in my mind, the inability to do something, it breaks me down. Like I hate it. And so accepting that from other people has always been difficult for me, and not even just in like a romantic relationship, just in general, because I'm proud of myself on being able to like figure shit out and make shit work. And so when I can't and I have to accept help, it pains me.
I'm the exact opposite. I hope it's somebody that can help me with some stuff.
Yeah.
Cause I've been a lot of relationships that I've been in, I've been pouring into this person.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's giving them everything. You know what I mean? So I love for a woman to come over and see, Blow, this is the way you need to handle this, and this. You know, I would love that.
See, for me, I'd be like, what's the catch?
See, your ass can't trust her. You think everybody got an ulterior motive and shit.
Because you trying to get me in, something ain't right somewhere. What you helping me for? It's a catch somewhere. Next thing I know, I got me on the corner. You pimping me. You out here pimping me on these corners. No, seriously, I be seriously thinking like it's a catch to some of this shit. So I be like,
so you got trust issues. That's a trust thing. I don't trust that you're doing this with pure intention. Well. See, with me, it isn't about that. I recognize that people want to help me because they want to help me, but I feel like I shouldn't need it though. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate it, but I fucking shouldn't need it. Like I should be able to do this shit myself.
Like everybody need help at some
I know,
point.
And I know that logically.
We couldn't even hold our fucking heads up as a baby. When you die, if somebody don't hold your head up right when you a kid, like you come into this world nothing but needing shit.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that ever ends. My fucking gas got turned off. That's why my hot water don't work.
Oh.
Because stupid Alabama Power changed to Spire. And where my shit was being automatically drafted, it's not doing that no more. So I wasn't conscious of I need to pay my shit.
Damn.
So I thought my fucking pilot light had just went off.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, okay, this shit must be broke.
Trying to light the pilot light last night, clicking that stupid ass little button on the water heater, it didn't work. So I'm like, damn, I guess I'm gonna have to call housing tomorrow. Well, I was gonna call housing and sound like a dickhead before I was cleaning up and found an orange ass packet. I was like, oh shit, let me go check my account. $375.
God damn.
God damn.
Well, the bill ain't nothing but $144. Apparently, it's a $50 reconnection fee, and because they're gonna reconnect it, they making me do a deposit of $175.
God damn.
God damn, that's a hell of a deposit.
Yeah, it's a hell of a deposit, but I happen to be a motherfucker that can afford $375 at the present moment. Imagine how much this shit happening in communities that can't afford an extra $100 and got $225 when this shit happening. Yeah. So this situation just made me feel like these companies are fucking the lower poverty communities in the ass with shit like
of
them.
Course they are.
Outlandish fees for people to have hot water.
Yeah.
Like the way that our society have chosen to regulate basic shit. I just imagine if motherfuckers figured out how to control air.
Oh yeah, you had air bill. Like, did you pay your air bill this month?
They figured out how to control radio waves. They done figured out how to make them motherfuckers Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, internet, cellular, just natural shit we've been walking through since the beginning of time. They figured out how to find a frequency and connect that shit to a payment system and say you can't talk to your mommy if you goddamn ain't pay this bill.
Exactly.
You can't call for help. If you about to get murdered and you ain't paid your bill, hey murder, how you doing? That's what's gonna happen. I'm sorry. Clearly, I had to get that shit out.
Hey, murder. How are you? Come on in. I know what time it is.
Murder be like, hey, big head. And you be like, new life, who this? But I just bought, I'm sorry, I had to have that little rant, but I just bought that shit to say, like, we need somebody constantly. You started with needing thought I needed the apartment complex to come here, but I actually need the Spire motherfuckers to come turn my damn gas back on so that I can take a damn hot shower and wash dishes.
I know that logically, and it's something that I'm working on. That I'm a work in progress on, and it's gonna probably always be a struggle for me.
Man, cause it's like the older you get, you just get used to doing stuff your way, you know.
And that's another thing. I've never lived with anybody, so like the way that I keep my apartment, I'm gonna want to continue. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some things I know I'm gonna have to give up, and that's gonna be difficult because shit's supposed to be this way. Like I get out of my bed and make my bed up. Like, and so if I come home and you didn't got up and went to work, like, bitch, why you didn't make the bed? But like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I know don't even take that fucking long to make no bed.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't never make on my bed.
I make my bed up every morning when I get up.
Why?
That's niggas.
You gonna get right back in it, right?
Exactly.
Niggas.
I'm the only one getting in it.
Yeah.
Later. Who am I trying to impress myself? Damn.
Now, if somebody coming over.
Making up skills.
Oh, yeah. That's
shit.
different.
Because she might get on this later on.
Look, that's some nigga shit.
I want her to be impressed. Oh, you make your bed.
Yeah,
I
man.
sure do.
That is some nigga shit. That's some nigga shit. That's just dudes in general. But see, that's what I'm saying. So I know when I do live with a guy, it's some shit that I'm gonna have to just be like, he a nigga. You just gotta. He don't think like you do. Because again, for me, it's like automatic. Let me make my bed up because I want to come back when I get in my bed to a made up bed. So I'm gonna make it up when I get up, or just decorative shit. Niggas don't decorate. You know what I'm saying? So like when we go and get a place, I'm gonna be saying, well, we need to get shit for the walls, and he gonna be like, the fuck we need shit on the walls for? Decoration, nigga. Like, but just that kind of shit.
You gotta like introduce and transition a person into that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just fully expect. I believe in organized chaos. That's what I call my system. I don't put shit in the same place twice, but I always know where I put it last. You know what I'm saying? Like, my pens are now currently right at the front door when you walk in. They used to be in the office. They used to be in the kitchen before they were in my room. Just when I do a mass exodus of cleaning and repositioning shit, it all go in a different place. I fully expect somebody to come into my life and be like, do you always kick your shoes off right at the door when you get home? Or do you always leave the controller on the couch, instead of putting it up? Like, because
I'm going to step on that bitch. Because it didn't got knocked on the floor.
But those are little trivial things that a person will transition you into their life with. They not going to be like, nah, I know them shoes ain't going to be on the floor. Like, when they do that shit, like when they have that hard line as this how I want it type situation, see, we going to have a problem. But I feel like that's how the independent to accepting some dependence going to be, because when you get with a person, you're going to lose them if you don't accept some component of how they bring something to your life.
And that's what I'm saying about, I know that it's going to, there's some things, and let me tell you something. Having predominantly male friends has helped me so much, because I have certain expectations. I have expectations that, the nigga would be perfectly fine with sleeping on the mattress on the floor instead of having a bed frame. I feel like that's important.
I did that for a while.
I wasn't even gonna put you out there like that, but since you mentioned it, look, it was you. This nigga slept on the floor.
Well, look, this is what happened.
Let me ask you something, Macy. Did you get some while it was on the
That's
mattress?
why I was okay. So I was getting something, and the bed frame broke, man. Okay, it broke, so I was like, "Fuck it, let me just get rid of this." You know what I'm saying? Right. And then I just slept on the box spring and the mattress for a minute until I got another bed.
But
you know what I'm saying? That's when I was like,
"That's not on the floor."
It is on the floor.
Not on the floor.
It's a box spring. It's a box spring.
Keep the shit. I'm sitting on the floor and levitate off the fucking carpet.
It ain't levitate, nigga. It's got legs.
What I'm just saying, under my bed ain't never been as clean as when I slept on the box spring and the mattress.
I have never done that. How do y'all have experiences with this shit? I've never slept on a frame on the floor.
Sometimes it just get real good and your bed frame break. You know what I'm saying?
I broke a bed. But I went and got another bed. I went and got another bed.
Bitch, eventually, but you don't really need that to sleep. Can I sleep on the box spring and the mattress?
Obviously you can, but why would you?
Is you getting some with the box spring and the mattress only?
Yes.
He was able to
then
get
what's
bitches.
the problem?
Let me just say
problem.
this though. This was in my early 20s. I just want to put that out there. This is a while ago.
It was a while ago, but I gave you so much shit. I kept trying to shame him. Just get a fucking bed, dude. Get a bed, my nigga. Like the same thing with the table. The table was you too. We had a whole conversation about the dining room table.
You don't have to have a damn dining room table. Damn you. You don't have to have that shit.
Look, okay. Let me just simplify this for you. As long as a guy can still get ass. That's really what it's about.
Okay, but back to what I was saying about I appreciate having y'all in my life, because now I have the expectation that when I do get a first home with something, I'm gonna have to be the one responsible for getting the shit that I feel like we need. Because if left to the nigga, I'm gonna be sleeping on the mattress on the floor. We gonna be eating on the couch and shit all the time. We ain't gonna have no dining table. We ain't gonna have shit on the wall.
When last time you sit at the damn table at 8?
I sit at my table sometimes if I fucking feel like it. I got dogs, so I gotta make sure they don't jump in my lap.
Too, and I sit on the couch.
Kima ain't my dog though. Kima ain't Remy.
What the fuck that supposed to
mean? Kima is polite. She's a little lady.
My dog is rough and begs all the time.
She just sits there and looks sad and begs. Remy be in your lap like trying to get at your shit. You have to be shoving this, mushing him in the face. If I ain't got a
family, what I need a dining room table for?
What the fuck does that mean?
I ain't got no family.
Yeah. Okay. You don't need a dining room table if you. I mean, a lot of people they have families. They don't even have a dining room.
Who?
Oh,
but dining room. Okay, but they still managed to put a table somewhere the fuck in there.
Right.
Okay.
But if you single, you don't necessarily need a dining room table.
Listen.
I say the same.
2007 is when I got my first apartment. At every apartment that I have had a table.
Okay.
Everyone.
On purpose?
Listen. Let's not act like our society has not conditioned men and women to be conscious of different parts of a society, right? Today, if you met a dude and y'all went into Big Lots, or not Big Lots, but Hobby Lobby or some kind of fashion store, or the first dude to go into to live with, you be creeped out if he said, I don't really like earth tones, so if we can get some vibrant colors in there to bring some liveliness to our spot, get some exotic art. Like, if a nigga came in there saying that shit,
yeah, you had the same look on your face like you got now.
You know what I'm saying? What's up with you in fashion and all this damn? Like, I thought that was a woman's. Like,
I would be a little bit like.
See that? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That goes with this dialogue. See? Men have never had to understand the functionality of this shit. To me, ain't no function of no damn headboard. The only thing a headboard do is hit her head against if you damn too close to it.
Right.
Versus the pillow. First of all, the headboard I had when I had no headboard.
Headboard is aesthetics. That's it.
It's aesthetic. It's a home. When I come into my apartment, I want it to feel like home. Those are the things that make it feel like home. Yeah, because you a nigga. Well, but for me,
what that's supposed to mean?
The niggas version of home, because y'all bachelor pads and shit, like, and let me tell you this, and this is a fact. And you can vouch for me on this. Married men live longer. And the reason why married men live longer is because we think about the shit that y'all don't think about. We make you go to the doctor when you don't go. Like, you're home. I feel like when you live with somebody or when you get married, the homey feeling that you're going to have in that house is going to be completely different from when you was living on your own, because it's going to be shit in that house that make it feel more homey. The shit that y'all talking about you don't need.
Right.
That she put in there.
You mean to tell me if I ain't got a bed, a headboard, that I'm going to die soon?
Did I say you're going to? No, I didn't say you're going to die soon.
A dining room table is going to save my life? Is that what you telling me?
Aesthetics matter. It adds to the aura of the home. It makes it feel more like home.
I don't think so.
Why?
The only reason why I agree with that.
I think your perception of that. If you got a man and a woman that don't give a fuck about aesthetics, then it not gonna make a difference.
Let me ask you this. Okay.
Okay.
If y'all done seen these pictures probably of women who take pictures in the mirror and their background be fucked up. Do y'all look at those women differently? Like if you went, like you got your shit on the floor. If you went to a bitch house and she had the same shit. Her mattress box spring was on the floor. Look at you laughing already.
Yeah.
You're gonna look at her differently because you expect her to be sleeping on a motherfucking
I'm gonna
bed.
say, what's your situation, honey? What's wrong? Is there something
Exactly.
that I need to
I'm
know?
gonna be like, that bitch nasty. But look,
All right,
She's
then.
nasty. She
But
might
see-
just have a bad situation.
but I'm just speaking to like what are bare essentials for men. Like I just bought a house last year, right?
You did.
Right on, brother.
So
Go ahead.
it's decorated. It's nice, you know,
Because of your
because
mama.
like I kind of see
Because of your
value in
mama.
that now.
No, your mama.
No, well,
Don't
she,
do that.
She
Your
definitely,
mama did
She
that.
definitely had some stuff to
All
say.
right.
But
Okay.
I mean, now I'm in my 30s. It's just a different type of thing. Like I think that the older you get, the more comfortable you want to be. You know, like when you in your 20s, you stand like when you in college, you stand in the dorm room, right?
Right.
But even
I mean, it
girls'
really ain't-
dorm room, y'all been in girls' dorm room. Girls' dorm rooms look different than dudes. We decorate. When I got ready to go to
I
college,
decorated.
when
I had alcohol bottles all
okay,
over down
no,
that
I'm not talking
motherfucker.
about that. When I got ready to go to
Shit.
college, my mom and me went and we picked out like a bedspread set that was gonna look, and then I had a whole theme.
Why?
And shit, because it makes a difference
What
in
the
how
fuck
the
difference
room
does that shit
feels.
make? You in a fucking dorm room.
But
You ain't
it's
paying
my-
fucking rent,
But
nigga.
it's my
What are you
dorm
talking
room.
about?
It's my dorm room that I'm gonna be in for months and months. I want to be comfortable. These are the things
Did that make the
me.
bed any more comfortable than damn? You know, you've
My
been in the dorm
mattress
before.
topper did. I had a mattress topper.
I
First
can't
of all,
stand.
other
And
than-
half them beds don't even have box springs.
no, they don't. That's why I had a mattress topper. Plus, nasty. You know, people sleep on them beds before you get there.
Well,
so,
of course
like,
you gotta
I
cover your
my
shit
up.
now. Damn.
But
you
I
don't
had a
get no
nice
rash and no
fluffy.
shit.
I had a nice fluffy, like comfortable mattress.
What difference
topper.
does that make? It's a dorm room.
But see,
I was
okay.
comfortable when I
But
was
what
in it.
all this comes down to is that guys that don't decorate their house still getting ass. That's the thing. If look,
Y'all gauge is like, do I get ass or don't I? Or I
That's
get
what-
ass without it? Okay.
That's why I take a shower. That's why I buy clothes.
That's sad.
That's why I have a car.
That's
That's
so
why I have a
sad.
job. If I couldn't get ass, I still would be my mama. I
That
live with my mama right
is
now. I would still
so
be living
sad.
with her 'cause I ain't finna get no ass.
That's sad.
Shit. I want to get ass.
I don't even know
guess
what to say to that.
Got my own place.
we do a lot for ass, you know what I mean? It's just kind of how it is.
Yeah.
But-
you ain't even got to give me ass. You just be soft and sit next to me. I'm good with that.
Look, I'm gonna tell you about my
Shit.
situation. Home means something different to me as far as what makes me comfortable, because I just didn't have the kind of household when I was little that I could even feel comfortable in or safe in, that didn't even look worth decorating.
I didn't either, but that's why I work
Well,
so hard to
the
do
only
that now.
reason we had anything decorative is because the house that we lived in with my dad as a drug dealer, apparently we put everything that could fit into the little shit shack we lived in there. And that's the only sign of it. But it wasn't nothing that my mama said, like it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? What mattered was that me, my brother, and my mama was connected to a level that's what made me feel comfortable with where I was at. So it's like, to me, you know, I'm not discounting decorating. If that was the case, I wouldn't have bought these little paintings. I wouldn't have my Marvel shit set up.
Yeah.
If I didn't feel like some type of aesthetics, something that makes me feel comfortable matters to some kind of degree. But that's gonna be what my lady gonna do. Otherwise, we gonna have a big ass man cave.
God.
Yeah.
But see, the difference is my home was not the aesthetics wasn't comfortable, but like also the connection and the bond we had wasn't either. Like you just said it, you know, all y'all being together mattered. That was not the situation in my home. So when I left, the thing I focused on are the things that I have control over. I don't have control over having somebody in my house that I have a bond with, so it feel like home because of this person. So I focused on making it feel like home through decorating it and making it feel like my space. So for me, making sure that it feels like my space feels like home. My apartment, no matter what kind of fucked up shit happens outside of that door, at work, just in general, when I come into my apartment, it's my space that was created by me, that reminds me of me because I'm the one that picked out all the shit. It feels like home. Now, my definition of home, once I actually have a family and I do have connections with the people in that home, might change. Right now, for me, my home is what it looks like. It's what it feels like. My dogs are my home. That's my home. Me coming in and them niggas jumping all over me and making noise and me yelling at them. That's my home.
And that's why I say the perception of what home is what makes a difference in that. If creating and controlling that environment that makes it comfortable for you, home, then you know that's perception of what it is. Yeah. That's how somebody who sleep on a box spring and a mattress and don't got no art up and
you ain't got no connection to shit. You don't need nothing for it to mean home. You ain't got nobody in there and you ain't got no decoration. You just don't care.
Do I have running water? Do I have a place to sleep?
That's that. Can you wash your ass?
Can you wash your ass?
Thank you. Can you wash your ass? Can you drive?
Right. Is it a roof over there?
Is it a roof? Do you have food in the refrigerator, brother?
There you go.
This is why when I do get married and move in with somebody, I have the full expectation that I'm gonna have to introduce because I've known you niggas, and so because of that, that is an expectation that I have. So I'm not gonna take for granted or be like, "The fuck is wrong with you? Why you don't think we need a table?"
Now. I mean, I think older guys. I think once you get older, you kind of mature, right? But if you when you in your 20s, like I don't know.
Depends on the guy.
Yeah, I guess so.
that maturity is on a scale that doesn't have shit to do with age.
Maturity is graded on a curve.
It's on a curve.
Like,
Just
I'm definitely decorate now. I gotta have my house feeling homey now. You know.
No, you.
In my 20s, whatever.
I bought again. My dorm room was that way. When I got my first apartment, I made sure that I had the thing again because it's my space, and that's the thing that I have control over. Like I said, like having a connection with the people that you live with until you get a family, you don't have no control over that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't access that. That kind of has to happen organically. So I focus on the things that I can control.
Yeah.
And my vibe in my apartment, I can control that. I can't control who in there, like, you know, until I meet the nigga. That just is what it is. But I can control the vibe, so that's what I focus on. So that's home to me. And again, when I get married and expand it, you know, my definition of home will probably expand. But right now, you know, I want my space to feel like me. I want when you come into my apartment, you be like, this look like some shit red. This look like red.
But even when you get married, you still gonna be doing the decorating.
Sure, I know, but I expect to do that because of you niggas. Like I said,
yeah, because we don't.
I can pick a comforter. Nigga, I know how to do that. I can pick that. I can pick towels.
Okay, but the comforter has to match the other things in the room, so you can't just put a comforter.
But does it have to
match stuff?
Does it have to match?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
I know how to
like
do
the curtains, and it needs
curtains.
You can have an eclectic
Why you have to
style.
have curtains?
What the fuck do you mean?
Blinds.
You gotta have
need
blinds. Don't block out enough light, and it's just
it's dark as hell in here. It needs blinds.
Well, I got blackouts.
He got blackout.
Done.
No, but look how bare that looks around there. Curtains added
I do
aesthetic.
wish I had some, but I ain't spending money on it because it ain't worth it. If somebody outside was giving curtains away now, I'll go get some.
Right.
But I ain't about to go buy none because these shits is doing what I needed to do.
That's how I felt about the box spring and the mattress.
Like, look, I can sleep. I'm as comfortable as I was with my shit levitating off the ground.
But that's good that women are different from men, because the world will look totally different if it was just a whole bunch of dudes. I mean, it'll look.
Yes.
Yeah, it wouldn't be pretty.
No.
Nothing would be pretty. Everything
be functional.
Yeah. Pretty
That's
much.
what you want. Function.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Shit that works. Curtains don't do shit.
You're the only one that didn't add your own thing before we go into our topics.
Well, the only thing I got to add is what I look at is how she treats the world around her.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people get caught up in she treat me good or he treat me good. But like you were saying, if you have the capacity to treat somebody like shit, it's only a certain time before I can fit into that mold.
Because you're new right now. You're a new shiny thing for them right now because you just met. But as time goes on, you're not gonna be so shiny, and so the other people in their life that ain't shiny either, knowing how they treat them matters. Yeah.
But how is it that a person can treat you good but treat everybody else like shit? Like I don't understand that shit.
They can treat you because they trying to like all of it. Listen,
because for me, that person is the representative.
That's what I was just finna say. Everybody send their representative out there first. Everybody sends out the best of them.
Like eventually I'm gonna see you treat a motherfucker like shit, and that's gonna be like.
But that's them. It's not me. Like some people don't look at it like that. Like because you treat me so well, like well that's just that person, and maybe it's a reason why, and because he's so sweet to me. So like if he doing that, it's got to be a reason. Like it obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't recognize that. That's a problem. Like I said, you're new right now. I never look like. Of course, niggas open doors. Everybody does all of those things in the beginning because that's their representative. as time goes on and y'all get comfortable, that representative kind of
So I shouldn't do
fades
that
away.
shit in the beginning. Then I should
No, you
just
should.
I ain't finna open up shit.
Listen,
just walk your ass in.
everybody sends out their representative. I send out my representative. The thing about the difference in people, though, I feel like is the level that the representative is different from who you actually are. That's what varies from person to person. I think we all send out our representative, but some people representative is like way up here, and like who they actually are is like way down here. So the difference between those two things is what varies from person to person. But I feel like everybody presents their bed. Like you make your bed up if you know somebody coming to fuck over. Eventually, once you and her have been dating for a while, you ain't gonna go make no fucking bed up because she coming over. Like, even that's representative.
No, I take that back, because even when I was with my ex, when I knew she was coming over, I made my bed up.
Well, what I'm saying, when I hear representative, all that means is that the positive things about yourself is stacked to one side when you meet somebody.
Yep.
Right.
That's what it means. I'm not gonna go meet somebody and say, hey, I'm a messy nigga, I kick my shoes off and I forget to pay the fucking gas bill sometimes. You know, don't do that shit. No. That shit come down. When they meet me, they gonna be like, you had some poke ribs before? You had these poke ribs before? Or I'll be like, you know, do you like candles? I fuck with candles. You know,
I make candles. Yeah.
I fix computers. I dabble in a whole bunch of shit. You know, so the odds gonna be stacked in my favor. That's a representative, because when they get to know you, that shit gonna be even out.
Yep.
It's gonna be even the good shit. The good shit and the bullshit and the shit that they accept gonna be stuck in a whole little basket of everything.
But like I said, the difference between some people's representative and who they are, and that is what varies. Like, some people's representative is a complete front. And some people, it's just them stacking the deck. Some people stack the deck. Some people just send out somebody that don't even fucking exist at all. And then once the nigga get comfortable, or once she get comfortable, all of that shit fall away, because the difference between those two were very different. Other people, their representative is like marginally better than who they are as a person.
Well, my representative,
marginally, a little bit
just
better.
Transparent. Like,
but so yours is marginally different.
Well. It was just me, because I just feel like, okay, people that are sending like you go on a date, that's not who the person actually is, because that's just y'all first meeting for the first time and all that kind of stuff. But the way I look at it is like, why would I be fronting? Because I want to be transparent so we can get to the meat of this situation.
It's not fronting though. Like he said, it's you take all the stuff that's already good about you and you only show them that. You just don't show the bad yet.
Accentuate the positive,
you know what I'm saying?
the negative.
It's like you gonna take into account a little bit more what you wear. You're gonna take a little bit more time on your outfit. You might go get your car washed. You know what I'm saying? Like those things. Those kind of things.
If somebody cry at the first movie you go to, you're gonna respond different than the 12th time y'all go.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Day one, you ain't gonna be like, what's this emotional shit you got going on? You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna wait.
But you know, maybe I should have did that.
Hey,
maybe that's what I need to start doing. Like, soon as I see something, just jump on it, just immediately.
Hindsight is a motherfucker.
Hindsight is a motherfucker.
Why you scratching your head like that? What's that supposed to mean?
But you gotta ease into that, because if it's nothing,
you look crazy.
You treat it like something. You the crazy one.
You look like a paranoid motherfucker. Like, the fuck is wrong? I scratch my head because it's
you
itchy.
win that battle. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
It's easy to lose it too.
That's why dating is so hard.
It
man.
is.
You just
but
God.
it's just you just have to pay attention. Like, I think a lot of times, especially again that they're representative, and I preach this so much to my clients, like. That's not everybody always look at the representative like it's something bad. It's not. It's what we do as humans. Like, you want to make sure, you want to ensure that you get another date. So you're gonna show them the good stuff. You're not gonna be fucking crazy. You're just not.
But I mean, that's just in general. That's like in life in general. Like, you don't
when you go to your interview, when you go to a job interview, you present the best of yourself. Once you become an employee, all of that shit you was talking in that interview. It don't even matter no more. Like, for the most part, you show a lane. You early to the interview. That's in most areas. The representative is not bad. What I encourage people to do is just get past the representative. Like, don't fall in love with the representative, because the representative is not the sole amount of who that person is. Like, again, it don't mean that they not the things that the representative is, but it just means you don't see the other shit that they are. You need to find out what this other shit is too. Like, make your determination based on the good and the bad, not just the good, because everybody got bad. You just hadn't got to the bad yet. You need to get there before making your final decision. Don't fall in love with the representative. The representative isn't bad. That doesn't mean that somebody's fake or it just that's what we do.
And I look at it like, look like a pharmaceutical rep. Pharmaceutical representative. They come and tell you the effective shit of what their product do.
And you find out all the side effects.
I'm letting you know the most effective shit that I got going on. You can find out about the side effects and shit later.
When you start growing that
but that's not my marketing strategy. My marketing strategy is like, look, I'm gonna tell you what this do. It help you with anxiety and depression.
And that's
you
not
got anal leakage.
Oh my God.
Linkage too.
But it's not a lie. It does help you with your anxiety.
That's not
It just didn't mention the leakage.
Oh my God.
The strategy is let me sell you me.
Ain't no
and then when
he just
when you do that with the understanding that people got other shit too.
Yeah.
It ain't like that person is a representative and you think, oh, this is they just got all good shit. Like
you
at a
should
certain
know.
point you wait for, okay, let's see where the other stuff gonna start seeping out and how they gonna start siphoning out that little bit.
Because it is other stuff, and that's fine. Like we all got shit. That's the thing. Again, that's why the representative isn't bad. The reason why the representative gets a bad rep is because people don't wait to see past that. And so they fall in love with the representative and be mad as fuck because they didn't wait for the bad shit to come out.
Yeah.
You didn't wait on the other stuff. You didn't fall in love with. Again, it's not that these things don't exist. They don't exist in the way that you think they do. You think that this is he just Mr. Perfect. He got everything and everything is great about him. But it ain't. You didn't wait to see the other shit. You didn't wait to see the controlling shit that may have came because you weren't paying attention, or because he's so great, you're gonna look at controlling shit like, well, he just cares. He just really cares about
that's why I look at marriage like, the person that you marry is the person's whose dysfunction you can actually handle, pretty much.
Yep, it's whose dysfunction you can deal with.
Because there's going to be
bullshit.
some dysfunction.
Yeah, but everybody's level of what they can deal with is different. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find somebody within the level. You can't be expecting no bullshit at all. You just need to find somebody whose level of bullshit coincides with what you can deal with.
Hopefully that bullshit ain't tapping on your head every now and then when they get mad. You know what I'm saying? Clearly there's a level to the bullshit that you need to try to fucking avoid. But to me, the way that she interacts with her whole environment is how she gonna interact
family,
with me,
friends,
but outside of me, who she hopes to be a representative for, and hope for me to see the best parts of her when she don't have that obligation to people in the environment, people in the community, her family, wait staff, people that she gonna interact with. Like when she start treating them like shit. That's how you get in situations where you got baby mamas and baby daddies that treat you in ways you ain't never conceptualized because you ain't see how they treat the rest of their environment.
They ain't treat me like that. Like in the beginning,
I don't know, man. If you said I love you to somebody once, you shouldn't be able to call them a bitch.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Not because they ain't one, but because you never should have got to the point of calling a bitch calling somebody that or saying I love you to somebody that you would call a bitch.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you don't assess that shit, when you don't look at that shit, that's what you end up with.
Yep.
I mean, and I ain't saying it ain't room out there for people.
Oh, some people good as fuck.
Some people their level of dysfunction matches and they can deal with that shit towards one another. But for me, I don't drama and bullshit look at me and be like, that's that nigga, let's go. We don't fuck with him. No. So I don't have a life that got all that shit, so I don't want nobody that's gonna invite none of it into my life.
Fuck no. Don't need it.
Man, because life happens anyway. Like stuff like that happens in life anyway. Some kind of drama, right? So in my house, it don't need to be none of it.
Hell no.
I mean, there's gonna be some of that to a
but
certain
not
degree,
like
right?
all the time, constantly.
That don't need to be a normal. Like
even with the kids, like because now we all at an age where it's possible that you're gonna find somebody without a kid, but it's more likely that they're gonna have at least one.
Damn, I don't want to.
I know, me either. I'm with you. Because and mine ain't even necessarily about not wanting to be a step parent. I guess I always envision when I have my kid, it's both of our first kid, and so we going through this together. Like I look at it like it's gonna be this bonding thing where we both like we don't know what the fuck to do. We got to figure this shit out. Kid here now, you know what I'm saying? Like as we're learning and figuring it out together.
Like the nigga here now.
He here now. We gotta,
ain't shit we can do.
My coworkers were like, I can't imagine you coming home with a baby. And I was like, you know what? I can imagine me coming home with my kid, laying him down and like talking to him like, okay, so I'm not really sure what we're supposed to do next. I know you've never been here before, so like that's your reason. But like I ain't never been a mom, so like we're both kind of learning. So I just need you to be patient with me.
But from what I understand, like when people have kids, they say it's some kind of just like natural.
Yeah,
switch
that's what I heard. You know what I mean? But I
so,
feel for that. My switch will be broke. I don't know. But for me, it ain't about. So what?
I said it matter who the dad is.
I know.
Yeah.
But for me, so it ain't even about being a step parent. It's just I've always kind of wanted to experience that first time like together and us both like figuring it out together. But how they treat their kids is important. Like back to the baby mama and baby daddy. If you see how this person is treating their kid, I mean, I don't want you. And I recently went out with somebody. I talked to I won't go into it. When I was somebody that had a kid, I didn't like how you talked to the fucking kid. I didn't. And you ain't gonna talk to my kid like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we have a kid, that shit ain't gonna fly. Like, I'm not.
Hispanic, man.
We're not gonna do. Shut the fuck up.
What?
He was not. He was
No,
not
he's Hispanic.
He's not Hispanic. Anyway,
He Hispanic,
he's
brother.
totally not Hispanic.
I think
I
might
think
know.
yeah,
Okay.
He's Hispanic.
he's not Hispanic.
He
Anyhow,
just told you he wasn't to stay
why
in
would
this
he lie
country.
about
No.
it?
To stay, they deporting motherfuckers these days. Shit, this is a Trump America. If he gets found out, he's going back.
Anyway, y'all know I cuss like a
Shit.
motherfucking sailor. I love to curse, but I am staunchly against people cursing at their kids. Like my mom didn't do that, and we got right like quick. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to curse at us to get her point across. Like my mama could look at us and we'd be like, "Oh shit,
Yeah, mine
she
too.
mad as a mother." Like, she better sit the fuck down, nigga. Like, so I don't like that has such detrimental effects on kids that don't need to happen. So like people that cuss at their kid, I don't like that shit. So like him cussing at his kid, no. If you're treating this child, I'm not stupid enough to believe that our child together is going to be special, and so you're going to treat like no. I pay attention to that because I see what your parenting skills are, what your parenting style is, and that don't line up with what the fuck I'm gonna do except for my child with you. Like I'm not gonna have it. So when people have kids, you need to pay attention to how they treat those kids. And the mothers of those kids. Because at some point, everybody love to talk about how my baby dad ain't shit, my baby mama ain't shit. You was fucking them at some point. So at some point, even if it was just dick, they provided something for you. Now you just hate the motherfucker and they this horrible person. You might end up being that.
Man.
They knew they fucked up when they fucked them.
You have to pay attention to how they look at and so with kids, I pay attention to how they treat their children. Like, and I never even met his son. I overheard this shit on the phone. Like, you on the phone yelling and shit at this little nigga. Like, he's 6. Why are you yelling? It don't take all of that. Like, are you cursing and shit? Like, why? He's 6. Just tell him what the fuck to do. Like,
Hispanic.
Yeah.
he is not Hispanic.
That's what
Not
Hispanics
Hispanic.
do.
All right, so I think that's enough relationships. Well, it's enough personal relationship shit because my very first story is going to go into some relationship shit. But if y'all have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, again, you can send it into our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artist, and send us a message that way. I am not going to really get in too tough to this this particular story. I just kind of wanted to mention it because this is something, even in my job, I've been seeing. So back to people with kids. I don't think that people with kids, women especially, it applies to guys too. Everybody that you date don't have to meet your kid, okay? And people that you don't even know that well should definitely not be around your kid. So where did this happen? In New York, a 3-year-old was found dead. The mother's boyfriend beat her to death while mom was at work.
I seen this story.
Mom left her at home with this boyfriend, and he beat the child to death while she was gone. You do not need to have every single person that you fucking around your kids. You need to be a little bit more careful. I had a situation, not me personally, but knew of a situation where somebody had a child with a guy and didn't find out till after the child was here that he was a registered sex offender. Those type of things are things that are easily searchable. Like, you just need a first and last name. This just FYI for anybody listening that's dating and got kids. All you need is their first and last name. Go to the sex offender registry for whatever state you are in. Put the first and last name in. Even if they have a common last name, part of the registration requires that they take pictures So you can see what they look like. They have to re-register every year, take a new picture. And now, will this keep every single instance of this from happening? No, because some people haven't got caught yet. It ain't on the registry. But for motherfuckers that are, that's an easy way for you to veto out somebody who doesn't need to be around your kids. Like, leaving a 3-year-old girl at home alone with a man that is not her father, I'm not doing it. And you ain't my husband. We ain't like, I'm not. No, absolutely not. Like, those kind of things you have to take into account when you're dating. You can't just be leaving these little kids at home with any Joe Blow that you fucking. You just can't do that. And this didn't happen in Birmingham. This ain't even nothing that just happening in other places. We done had, situations here in Birmingham, stories where kids have gotten killed by their parents' significant other.
Shoot, kids getting removed from homes every day due to boyfriends
sexually abusing the child.
Not even just saying, like, the boyfriend be the one that put bruises on the kid. The mama get back and be like, why DHR police here? And the boyfriend be like, well, I ain't got time for all this shit. And they out, and now you still dealing with situations. Because a lot of the counseling that we do with the parents we work with when kids be removed are making sure that they have the protective factor. Which DHR, they make sure they measure as a parent if you have the capacity to make these decisions to keep your child protected. And in the event where you choose a bad relationship where you couldn't keep your child protected, that's a problem.
It's a problem.
That's a problem.
Because sometimes it is a life or death situation.
You chose somebody. Not only did you leave your 3-year-old with somebody, I'm pretty sure it's a whole bunch of mamas that have left they children with a boyfriend that they should have, and they got back home and everything was okay. But she chose somebody that would beat her 3-year-old to death, which means you didn't know enough about him. And if you did know that about him, then you made a bad decision of leaving your child at home with that person. So
just be careful. Like, dating hard enough, but like when you're dating and you have children, you have a responsibility to your children to not put them at risk. So like I said, a 3-year-old little girl, there is no reason why that child should have been left at home with him.
So, gentlemen, y'all may potentially date somebody who got a child. What do y'all think y'all roles supposed to be in discipline at that point?
I don't have a role in discipline in that child.
Well, I'm just trying to gauge that because some people feel like
how long have we been together, first of all, and then are we on the road to marriage? Because
that's what I'm saying. No. You're definitely going toward marriage. Ideally, that's somebody you want to be with, you can be with. Maybe you even marry somebody. What does your role does your role advance into discipline at some point, or is it never your role?
What kind of conversation me and the mothers had?
Well, that's what I'm saying. What's important to you? What kind of conversation y'all have to have?
If I'm at the point where I'm in a situation where, one, I got to have a conversation with the mother, of course. And then I think for me, it really depends on if we're married. And like, if we're not married, I don't really feel like I need to be disciplining somebody else's child like that. Now, until I am actually her husband and that child's stepfather, I don't feel like I need to be doing that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean.
When it comes to stepchildren, is there ever a point in time where you should be the disciplinary?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm married to somebody, this is technically my stepdaughter or stepson.
So what does that look like though? Like, if you would whoop your birth kids, are you gonna whoop your stepkids?
What kind of discipline does she have going on? It's all conversation. Like, if she doesn't believe in spankings, then we have to talk. Then we need to have a conversation about discipline in the house. You know what I'm saying? And spanking don't work on everybody. Like, I don't understand how people
do not get that.
You know what? My cousin, he used to get his ass whooped all the time and used to still do stupid shit. But until my aunt actually said, you know what? Let me take this nigga stuff away and see what. And she started taking his stuff, and he was just like, oh shit! Like, I gotta. You know what I'm saying? Like, he if he knew he was gonna get something taken away from him, he'd straighten up. A whooping, he was like, that ain't, man, come on. I can do that. I can take that.
What about you, AC Blow?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even thought about that, man, to be honest with you, because to me, I haven't even thought about like dating somebody with kids. I know I probably should now, but
this age, man,
yeah,
it's hard not to. I mean, everybody in this room is kidless. But I feel like we like unicorns at this point. Like, it ain't a ton of us. Like, we all happen to be in this room, but like out there is a lot more people with kids than not. For me, if if the other parent is involved, like for me, a dude that's got a kid, I don't think, especially if we're going to get married, I don't think people do enough co-parenting with the other parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to keep that other parent out or not involved in, and of course they're going to get upset about that. You know, if all of us are going to have a hand in raising this child, I think that we all need to have an understanding. And I recognize that that's not always possible because some people be mad and bitter. We ain't together. You done brought this bitch in here. I get that. But that would be something that we going to at least try. We're going to at least try to involve this other parent so that we all have an agreement about how this needs to happen. And I'm going to take a secondary role to that because it ain't my kid.
But what if the kid's father ain't shit?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like a motherfucker that
I said an involved, like a parent that's actually involved.
Well, a motherfucker can pick up a kid on the weekend. That don't mean they're involved. I can take my kids to the damn zoo, but that don't mean I love
said that it's not always possible, but I would at least try. Now, if they ain't willing to do it, that's different. But I'm not gonna not try because I just feel like, and I would be willing to take a secondary role. This is not my birth child. You know what I'm saying? And we all make, depending on, y'all made this child together. Now, I'm not going to be left out, but I'm also going to recognize my role as a step parent. So I'm not going to enforce my will and say, well, no, this is what has to happen. It's not my child. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I would be willing to work with the other parent and take a secondary role because it's not my blood parent. I mean, my blood child. That ain't my kid. This is your kid.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I get anxiety when I think about like marrying somebody with kids.
Yeah,
like because I got a friend that he just got married like three weeks ago, and she had 2 kids. He had 2 kids, and I was like,
Brady Bunch.
At the wedding, they had a little ceremony where they like kind of like, I guess they were showing their dedication to each other's kids and stuff like that. And my homeboy was doing that shit with like such calm. And I was like, okay, so he must really be in love with this woman and really, like, it's worth it to him to go through all of that. Because it's going to be tough. That's a tough situation, no matter how you look at it. Like, you know. And
it's tough on a kid.
But you know, the way you frame that is odd how you frame that. Because it's like, it sounds like you're saying that you feel like he only accepted her kids under the umbrella of how much he loved her, versus he may actually love these kids, you know, depending on how they actually interact. Now, you may know more about the situation than I do, but like, I think it's possible for somebody to love a woman and her kids and be invested in marrying into that family like that.
Yeah, but I mean, but really the overarching thing is his love for this woman, right? He wouldn't be like taking on the responsibility of these kids without the woman, right? I mean, so
for me, if you a woman that got kids that date me in the future, your kids can fuck up our relationship. I'm gonna put that out there day one. You know, so if you want to wait for 6 or 7 months before I meet your kids and I meet them, they can fuck up 7 months worth of your time. Right. I'm not saying bring them into the situation early. I'm just saying I need to be able to accept you and yours.
Right.
Not just you.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in a situation where I felt like we were not. I had 2 stepdads.
It was grudgingly, I guess.
Like neither one of them gave a fuck that we existed. They wanted mama, but they didn't want the package that came along with it. You know, so for me, I know how it feels to be a kid that have a stepdaddy that don't feel like he's accepted by that. I don't want that. If I can't accept your kid, I can't be in a relationship with you. If I can't accept you and yours, then I'm not gonna put your kids through the dynamic of how that'll feel, and I'm not gonna put you through the dynamic of how that'll feel. But you know, that come from my personal experience. You know,
right?
So for me, kids will fuck that up if I don't want to be with. Like, I'm gonna need to at least like your kids moderately. Now, loving her,
but that makes a lot of damn sense.
Is what put me in the situation where I would become to have to interact with people that I hope to grow to love. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know, but at the end of the day, I need to feel some level of positivity about her kids and feel that coming from them.
Right.
You know?
I see what you're saying.
You can't force them on. I mean, you can't force a kid to be like, oh, you gotta love him. Like, no, that shit is not gonna work.
But that goes
they
back.
definitely don't gotta love me.
No.
Like in that equation, they definitely ain't gotta love me. You know, I just have to be. I think we have to be in a position where we both can grow to value each other some kind of way,
but
to where we can work together.
Some women be so in love with whoever they with and shit like that. They don't understand why the kid don't, like the motherfucker or love him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you should love him. He loves your mother. And I was like, no, nigga, I don't have to love. I don't even know this nigga.
Well, and look, kids are sometimes kids and dogs are very good judges of character sometimes. And so sometimes you think you done found a Mr. Right, and the kid like, no, this nigga ain't shit.
Yeah, they'll sniff you out.
Oh, look, Remy, my hound dog loves everybody. The Jamaican that I keep talking about that stalking me, he bark and like he viciously be wanting to attack this nigga, which lets me know that this nigga's just as bad as I think he is, because he loves everybody. He never barks at. I've never seen him bark at anybody other than that dude. But that goes back to why I said I would at least try to involve the other parent. Sometimes, and not all the time. Sometimes the kids not liking this new person ain't necessarily just because of them. It's because of the feelings about the other parent, or the other parent is, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we need to provide a united front to this child, that we all care about you, we all love you. Like, this ain't got shit to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all here for you. That's why I would want to involve the other parent. So it ain't like, I ain't trying to replace your mama. Your mama's still here. She's still involved. I ain't her. You know what I'm saying? I'm Jen. I'm not your mom. I'm Jen.
But I think a lot of people coming into the situation don't even have that conversation with kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they just come in and
again,
just do
mandatory.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that.
Like, I think
if I'm gonna be in this shit, the kid is gonna be comfortable, because you're right. Kids can fuck it up. And I ain't finna stand on situation where niggas telling me I ain't your mom. You know how you fucking right, I ain't your goddamn
Sometimes
mom.
people don't give kids the credit.
Yeah,
like just because they kids don't mean they dumb. They do dumb shit, but they ain't stupid. Feelings. You know what I'm saying?
This is a change for them too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you just gotta come in with that conversation.
I think it's just the way, because like you kind of identify with that situation because you had stepfathers and stuff like that. My parents been married since they was 21 and 22. And I'm the oldest of 3 boys. So, like, it ain't even natural to come into a situation where you dating somebody with kids for me. Like, I can't even, like, fathom that right now.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's why I get so anxious.
Oh, they the Cosbys. Like, don't let him fool you. They are Heathcliff Huxtable.
Oh, shit. You can't read either.
Listen.
You dyslexic, too.
Listen. These niggas have Sunday dinner. They get together at Christmas and everybody. Oh, see?
What?
Well, look, that's my norm.
We don't even have a dining room table. What you talking about?
Like, I took my whole family out for brunch on Easter and stuff.
Brunch.
You know what I'm saying? We do
fuck
stuff
is
like
that?
They the
Is that
Cosbys.
something new? Brunch? I ain't never had that shit before.
But yeah, it's all about what you grew up in.
That's your
you know
normal.
What I mean? So,
damn,
that's your normal.
That's why I'm like, man, how am I supposed? Dating is tough enough for me anyway.
Yeah.
To not even throw
shit
kids
terrible.
into that situation, it's like, man.
My preference, again, is somebody without a kid, because it just adds layers of other shit that I really just would rather not deal with. But at this age, I've accepted that might, the way that I envisioned it happening, it just may not fucking happen that way.
Look, I'm claiming that. I'm a married woman with no kid. Dang, like, I'm just putting that out there. Like, put
it in the universe.
Yeah, man, you know what I mean? It might be a long shot at this point, but hey, you know.
The older we get, everybody.
You gotta be specific about that, though.
What
because the universe will give you a lady with scrambled eggs, goddamn.
Right. Oh, well, no, I don't want
that can't have.
He'll be like, here you go.
Okay,
time to adopt,
brother.
I want somebody that can have kids but doesn't have kids.
Okay, that you can have kids with.
That I can have kids with. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, be specific, because the universe don't give a damn about.
It'll fuck you over. It'll fuck you over in a heartbeat. So
well, look, no, I was gonna add to the conversation that. So I mean, when I think about dating a woman with kids, it's so much shit I gotta talk about. You know, I gotta consider. It's just so starting off on the social media or social dating sites, the first thing is if you got a picture with your kid on your profile, it's a wrap.
If you got a what?
Hell
with
no.
your kid on your
I don't understand that shit.
You should not be putting your kid out here.
Children like that. Stop.
You're gonna trap pedophile. Anybody that is a pedophile that is looking at these profiles, and I already know what your kid look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is stupid as fuck. I don't understand people that do that.
So first off, it's a wrap if you got that.
Yes.
2, if you say in your profile you got a kid, you gotta have some other shit in your profile that make you interested enough with a kid. Because in my head, I'm still searching for somebody that may not have a kid.
Yeah.
So you know, if you look great aesthetically for me, and your profile is talking about something, and you got a kid, then okay, cool, I'm all right with that. you know, going down to not having kids. So now we in a situation where if you got a kid, it makes a difference. How old is the kid? Mm-hmm. You know, right. Somebody. I just talked to somebody. One of their friends just had a baby, and was like, you know, you want me to give you her phone number? And I'm like, no. I mean. That's a different situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a newborn.
How does she know? How does she know she 100% done with this dude? You know, what if they like go in a little tiff right now? Because at the end of the day, I feel like most parents want to have the child's father, you know, with them,
especially in the beginning.
So I hate to be a regular rebound, but I hate to be I just had a baby rebound because you have some kind of. But let's say that relationship is dead. You know, maybe he dead. I don't know. Let's say that it's absolutely done.
Wait, the kid or
no, the
daddy.
Oh, okay. Let's just I'm confused. I'm like the child who died. Wait a minute.
No, let's just say it's 100% chance you're not gonna be with that person. At the point that your baby is so young, I feel like the relationship you need to build with your child is gonna conflict with the relationship you need to build with your mate, and that's gonna be a difficult barrier. Or somebody like me is going to be expected to take on a fatherly role earlier than I care to. So that's the first variable. Second, so age, you know, versus if your kid is 3, terrible 3s. I don't want to meet you now.
No such thing. No terrible.
Terrible 2s. Terrible. No, they say it's one or the other. It's terrible 2s or terrible 3s.
Some kids don't do 2s. Some wait till 3s.
It's one or the other one, generally speaking.
Or it might be the whole 2 and 3.
Yeah, you might get another word for 3s. It need to be treacherous 3s or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like terrible 2, treacherous 3.
Some people be like, ain't no such thing as a terrible 2. But when that motherfucker turn 3,
like, God damn.
Pull another kid howling at the park. They be like, damn, that shit took time to develop. You know, and so that's different, you know, than if they 5 and if they 10, you know. Yeah. Because now they 10. Now they probably listening to Lil Uzi Vert. Yeah. And I don't want to hear that in the car. You know what I'm saying? And then you get the teenagers, and then I'm like, dang, like, I'm old enough to date somebody with a kid that can be about to graduate high school.
Right. That is insane. When did we get this old?
I met a girl, she was 35 and had an 18-year-old.
Shit.
I said, damn.
Shit, a lot of fucking was going on back in the day when they were young.
But that's just the age variable. The next variable is how close are they to their father? You know, because ideally, I hope the child have their father in their life, which means I hope to have a working relationship with him on discipline and stuff. Yep. You know?
That's because best.
I can't come in to somebody's life who's 11 or 12 and their daddy been telling them shit their whole life to do, which one thing that a lot of men tell kids to do is if somebody hit you, hit them back. I don't agree with that message.
No.
Not for kids and not as general as it is. Because there are certain circumstances where you as a grown person ain't gonna hit somebody back because you weigh what it will lose you if you hit somebody back in a certain context.
And you're not giving the kid the opportunity to weigh. You just telling them to hit back in any circumstance. And sometimes it ain't.
Exactly.
It ain't
but
that.
So my hope is not to tell the kid an opposite message to their daddy. My idea is to communicate with the daddy or the mama to communicate with the daddy. And help
I feel like that situation you describing right there, that's rare. That's rare where the stepfather and the actual father on the same page with raising the kids. Yeah. Like how often does that actually happen?
But shit, that ain't gonna happen because the dude who's the ex and the dude who's the new dude, the ex gonna be like, man, I ain't fucking with that dude. He ain't shit.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But see, that's why it doesn't happen. But it needs to.
Then
happen.
I'll be the first person in that child in that mama's life who is willing to reach out to that dude. Now, if you don't reach out to me, that's something. But at the end of the day,
I'm gonna have tried.
After I decide to join a family and a child is a part of it, that child still becomes the most important part of what goes on because I'm not finna be a part of that child trauma. I know what trauma look like in kids. I'm not gonna be a part of it.
I don't want to be a part of nothing like
that. And
I'm
gonna try to help that. And for me, helping that is gonna be communicating with the adults in that child's world about the best way to do it. I'll put my ego to the side. If he can put his ego to the side and have a conversation about what best do. I don't want to sit here and act like I know what's the best because at the end of the day, your child is going to gravitate to what you say. And if I say opposite shit of you, I'm going to be the enemy.
That's why I said I'm going to take a secondary role. Y'all was still the parents. I'm not trying to come in and replace either of you. I want to take a secondary role, but I need to know how to do that. We all need to have a conversation for me to do that. I'm not trying to be the mom. I'm not trying to, you're his mom. I want to be able to take a secondary role, an active role, but I need to know how to do that. I need to know what y'all already got set in place. So again, I would be willing the same way. I want to initiate that. Like whether it happens or not, I'm gonna know I tried. Because it needs to happen. It's rare, but it's rare because people can't put their egos aside and you mad or I ain't finna talk to this nigga. I don't want him around my kid, but he gonna be around you. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get to make that decision.
Man. This whole conversation is giving me anxiety just thinking about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but, you know, to your point, I was going to say, you know, I'm 33. It's still ain't, I mean, it's still easy for us now to meet a woman without kids. You know, we can date somebody 7 or 8 years younger than us.
It ain't easy to meet dudes without them, though.
I know. Your ass is in another situation. This wasn't to you.
I'm just out here losing.
This was to AC Blow and Cole Jackson.
But I feel like...
We are if we looking for that.
Like, usually, I'm 34, but I usually date women in their 20s. And now I'm looking at women in their 20s
Stop doing that.
Yeah, like, maybe I shouldn't be doing it. Maybe I need to try to find somebody that's like my age. You know what I'm saying? But 20-year-olds be looking so good though. But you know, but the thing is, like, you know, you have to go through these situations to kind of figure out what you need to be doing.
I be trying to help you, and you still just don't listen.
But I'm thinking, if I'm 34 and I date somebody that's 26, 27, I'm thinking that's not a huge jump.
What were you doing at 26, 27?
But I'm like, dude, supposedly y'all mature quicker than we do.
Some of us.
Right.
Oh, they just tell you that lie.
No, that is a scientific fact, nigga. I'm not
lie.
doing this with you. That is a fact.
They tell you that shit all day long.
But yeah, I don't think that's true now. I don't think that's true, really.
Let's not act like I can't find a 33-year-old that's as confusing as a goddamn Riddler.
You're correct.
Or as unpredictable as a damn Joker. Let's not act like that shit ain't possible.
That's true.
Like, to me, you just need to have a personality and character filter on whatever age motherfucker that you're looking for. You know, you dating 20-year-olds, clearly they brain development might not be all the way there versus somebody that's in their 30s, but you can find somebody in their 20s that are worth dating, you know, and you can find somebody that's your age that ain't worth a shit.
Or a 50-year-old pimp that's selling dope.
That nigga's called hustling, nigga.
That's out here dabbling here and there.
What the fuck is dabbling?
It's
shit.
I didn't say the shit. I don't know. You have to ask that nigga what dabbling means. Dabbling. He dabbling.
You stick your whole dick in or you don't. Period. There ain't no fucking in between.
You ain't never heard nobody be like, let me just a tip. Just a tip.
Why would I do that to my nuts? What the fuck is that doing for me?
I don't know.
If I put my head in, the shaft going into. Everything's going into that
That's
vagina.
why you just say just the head so you can get everything in.
Oh,
you don't just do that. You don't just do. Yeah.
No.
Well, I ain't never did that myself.
That's too close to me too.
I know. I ain't never did that myself. Let me put that out there.
I'm gonna tell you right now, either we going all the way or we ain't going at all.
See, I was only okay with the mushroom tip.
Man.
But he gave me the whole link.
Yeah. Now look at me. Mad.
I don't know how we got here. I'm sure it was my fault.
You said dabbling. Somebody brought up dabbling.
She brought up dabbling.
Yeah.
He the one saying dabbling. You got such an issue with that word. I didn't make it
don't
up.
make no fucking sense.
He in his 50s and said dabbling.
I don't give a damn if he was in his 70s. You either stick all of your dick in or you don't stick your dick in
He
at
said
all.
he was dabbling on his wife. He dabbling with other women.
Again, what the fuck does that mean?
You had to ask him.
I was around him. I was
You
dabbling.
should have him on the podcast.
Bring him out here. And I need to talk to him about dabbling.
Oh my God. I don't even know. That might be the
dabbling
thing.
Is denial. Dabbling is saying that I ain't in it enough to be considered a bad dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you say I'm raw dogging bitches out here and I'm married,
exactly.
Well, that's the opposite of saying I'm dabbling.
Yeah.
I have sex with him with condoms. That's dabbling.
That mean I love you, girl.
Yeah. I raw dog you all the time. But these other outside women, condoms only.
Oh man.
And I don't eat them out.
I hope not, man. God, me. All right, so
Sorry.
Boy, Cole's a silly boy.
I'm sorry.
So AC, you had AC listens to the show a lot, and I'm sure he be in his house a lot of times. Like, what the fuck, like wanting to add in, and he can't because he can't be here all the time, and so he had a topic of conversation that he had wanted to.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about. I saw an interview that Killer Mike did with the NRA, you know, and it was just a terrible interview. I thought, because I like Killer Mike, big fan of his music.
I am too.
I think he's an intelligent brother, but I'm like, as woke as you are, and I hate that term, but people use it.
But you a woke brother yourself.
Charlamagne,
how dare you?
He had a really dope quote on Instagram today talking about woke people because they talking about the new Drake video and shit. Because they was dogging Drake out about the new single he just dropped. So
I gotta listen to that.
It's amazing. He took a Lauryn Hill sample and flipped it, and I'm like, I don't know how y'all do. How you do that?
Out later. But but Killer Mike, as smart as he is, I was like, well, why would he do an interview with the NRA? And so like in the interview, he was talking about how he basically didn't agree with the kids that are the Parkland shooting kids that are protesting and having all these demonstrations and stuff. And I guess they had a demonstration or a protest where they were walking out of schools, and he was saying, well, if
for like a minute or 17 minutes, 1 minute for every victim,
right?
But
and so he was telling his kids, look, if you walk out that school, you can walk out my house because this is a family that supports the Second Amendment and stuff like that. And so I got what he was saying, like he's a supporter of the Second Amendment, right? But people are confusing why these kids are protesting the way that they're protesting.
It's not the black and white issue people want to make it. Like, people who feel like gun control, I don't know why gun control means we taking your guns. Like, you can't have any guns. Now, there are people that talk about just getting rid of the Second Amendment, but I think that my experience has been that people, anytime you talk about any kind of gun control or monitoring it or anything like that, then it's, you want to take away the Second Amendment. Nobody said that, but like, that's what it's looked at a lot. Is like any kind of change is trying to take away the Second Amendment, and I don't think that'll
never happen though.
Right?
It'll never happen, and anybody realistic wouldn't even be looking for that to happen. But having some reform doesn't mean getting rid of the Second Amendment. But like, people want to make it this black or white thing. Either you're for the guns or you're against them. Like it is not. Yeah, to me, it's not a black and white issue.
But Killer Mike was acting like, okay, the whole reason why these kids are protesting is because they want to abolish the Second Amendment, and that wasn't the intent of the demonstration, right? But
let me say
then he turned around and tried to act like he put a video on Instagram saying that he actually supports their cause, right? But that's not what you said in the interview.
So I watched the same interview, and the guy who was actually doing the interview was kind of leading things. Like we talked on my podcast, we had a conversation about it. We watched it. We actually posted it up. Okay. And and Shogun, I said this with my co-host Shogun. I said, this random black dude that the NRA is using to bring the black people in, because I've seen other NRA videos before, and I ain't never seen no black folks on there before. So you're one.
He's the token.
You're trying to get us to. You're advertising to us. You want us to be on your side,
right?
But the questions and the way the dude was leading, Killer Mike's a smart dude. I love Killer Mike. I love what he tries to put out there. But the questions and the way that the whole interview was set up just felt like the guy who was interviewing was leading these things, or leading, do you see what I'm saying? He was putting the questions out there in a way where it seemed like whatever Killer Mike was going to say wasn't going to sound good.
Well, I mean, maybe there was some of that going on, right? But I just believe that Killer Mike is smarter than that, right? Like, no, he wasn't leading Killer Mike to say that he disagreed with the Parkland shooting kids. He said that on his own.
Right, yeah, you're right.
And so the guy who was doing the interviewing, he is the token black at the NRA.
NRA is pandering to black people with
because
that guy.
he we were talking before the show about the guy who was doing the interview, right? His name is Coleon Noir.
Mm-hmm. I hate his fucking name.
Yeah. And so I remember him before the NRA. He used to do a lot of gun reviews and talk about Second Amendment issues. Then the NRA started paying him, and he started saying whatever the NRA told him to say. And so now he's trying to make the NRA cool, right? Or they're trying to use him to bring minorities to the NRA.
Right.
So, and in that interview, Coleon and Killer Mike were talking about black people need to join the NRA. And I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, why would black people ever join the NRA? And they were saying, well, they've done this for black people and that for black people. And I'm like, where's the proof of any of this?
Yeah, I was about to say, where's the documentation from that? Is that documented? Because you haven't met my co-host Shogun, but I'm pretty sure he'll find the documentation because he's...
Yeah,
Shogun is a conspiracy theorist, which y'all would probably get along because you got some of those. You're not hardcore, but you sometimes you lean a little towards conspiracy, so y'all would get along.
But see, the thing is, like, you know, let's say that there are some isolated incidents where they have worked on behalf of black people, the NRA, right? That's not what the organization is known for as a whole, right? And the majority of the people in that organization are white people, you know, and so. My thing is, don't be a pawn. And Killer Mike is smarter than that. And so I was like, either they paying him or he
But
just
he apologized after that, though.
But he apologized because of the backlash, right? And he backtracked on what he was saying. In that interview, he clearly was speaking against the Parkland shoot, that whole situation, speaking against their protest, right? And then he tried to act like, well, I'm an ally. I'm sorry that the NRA weaponized that interview and made it seem like I had a problem with your cause. But that's what you said in the interview, Killer Mike.
They had the weapon, but he gave him the ammunition through what he was saying and what he was communicating. Yeah. And my problem with that as a whole, with Killer Mike's way of thinking about his family is we're a Second Amendment family, we gonna get. It don't sound like his family have much room for individuality. It don't sound like they can make their own decisions and say, well, Dad, I don't really think I like guns. Like, so ideas and perspective that rigid paint kids into a position where if they happen to be kids that don't want to carry guns, you know, they either have to pretend like they do to appease daddy and the family that he say they are, or they have to
be the black sheep,
prepare for backlash and be the black sheep of that situation happening. So I don't agree with that. But I'm trying to look at what he said as not so much an attack on Parkland. It's hard because of how he framed it, but I'm looking at that he values the Second Amendment so much that that's the case. Because Killer Mike had an old interview where he said this ain't verbatim, but he said, black folks out here, I hate to make y'all mad, black folk. You probably done seen this, but he said, and everybody around here talking so nice, but if y'all ain't ready to farm y'all own land, if y'all ain't ready to shoot guns, if y'all ain't ready for shit. Black folks ain't ready for shit. He basically just laid that shit out and said all that shit. So it ain't like that Second Amendment stuff really deviates from what he believes. So I'm trying to tell myself the way he framed it is the problem. But Killer Mike is smarter than that.
Well, the reason why he said that is because he thinks that that's going to impinge on his Second Amendment right. Like these kids protesting. He thinks for some reason these kids protesting is going to get rid of the Second Amendment. And like, I don't understand why he thinks that'll
never happen. I was very glad that the kids were standing and what all they really were saying. Now, some of them may have this idea that the Second Amendment is going to go away, but they basically were saying protect us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need y'all to fix this shit. Like, y'all keep your thoughts and prayers ain't doing shit because we still dying at school where we supposed to feel safe. Right. We need y'all to do something to change that.
Hey, I'm trying to figure out which protest y'all talking about. Y'all talking about the one where they walked out of class? Or you talking about the one that March for Life shit?
Well, both of them were the same. Yeah.
See, the March for Life shit, I wasn't feeling that.
Where the celebrities and stuff was
there.
Yeah,
I wasn't feeling that at all. It kind of taints what the message is supposed to be. And I know celebrities want to come out and I want to show my support. But I said on our show, I was like, I don't understand. I said, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? The walking out of class thing, understood, got it, made a point. The March for Life thing, I'm like, Rihanna up in here, and then we got the Kardashians kicking in, and I'm like, dude, this is kind of tainting. It's tainting what I think you guys are trying to do. I get what this is, but y'all got this super huge rally and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I just was like, I said I don't understand where we're going with this, and I know they're the future of America, and they're going to be the future lawmakers and stuff like that, and I get that, but I'm like, well, shit, we ain't too long had niggas getting killed.
I was just gonna say, like,
where was the big rally for that? Like,
well, we were doing rallies and we were protesting, and we were told to sit the fuck down. And,
exactly,
and that's why I fucked the NRA, because Philando Castile got killed, and all these other people got killed, and they said nothing, right? So fuck the NRA. And that's why I was upset with Killer Mike, because I'm like, you know what's going on. Okay, so either you getting a check for them or you just that dumb. And I think he's getting a check.
He's not that dumb.
Yeah.
He's just not. Killer Mike is not a dumb guy.
So here's the thing with me, and it pisses me off all the fucking time. Like, every time we get somebody that speaks up for our rights and all this other, like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all these other motherfuckers. I look at Killer Mike like that too. You know what I'm saying? Because Killer Mike makes some very good points.
He does.
Yeah.
But as soon as some fucking money start whiffing around,
they get fucked up.
and it's like, well, here you go. Let me pull up in this briefcase full of money. And then you start leaning a little bit. And I'm not like, dude, like, but that's why we ain't got no black leaders now.
This is what I think about Killer Mike. This is what I think happened. I think, because he wasn't always political. Right. So I think that he found a lane. Okay. So now his brand is being a revolutionary, right?
Right. David Banner,
and that's too. It. You know, I'm not saying that he doesn't actually, like, want the black community to do better. Same thing with David Banner, like you said. I mean, that's just their brand now. I think it's for a check. Yeah. I really do think it's for a check.
And it's like, now being woke is the new cool, and
you know,
man. we gotta rise up against these white people. I'm like, well, motherfucker, you just had a song that said you had what was David Banner's song? Come Girl or some shit like that, and the girl was on
Play.
You had that song not too long ago. I remember you was making trap beats. Nigga, don't tell me that shit. Like T.I. the same way. All of a sudden he just like he made a woke album. I was like, nigga, I was trapping to your ass, nigga.
His prison speeches kill me, because T.I. used every word he's ever heard that has more than 4 syllables when he it is so fucking it's so prisony. It's so prisony. Like, that's what niggas who been to prison do, because they ain't got nothing to do.
The totality of the situation was like, nigga,
that's prison.
Shit like that's asinine.
He's the hood Stephen A. Smith. That's
that's their prison shit. Niggas go to prison. They ain't got shit to do but read. They come out and they do that shit. Their vocabulary has expanded so much that they just throw these words in unfucking necessarily. Every time I hear T.I. talk, I just think about a prison nigga.
Yeah,
like, that's what it sounds like.
and he was trying to jump on that woke bandwagon.
He made an album.
Yeah,
he did.
I think it was like Us and Him or what it was. He did a woke album.
Did you notice when he was promoting that, he left the door open? He said, "Now I'm finna go back to this trap shit at some point." But this is what's working now, because all of this stuff going on, you know. So that's why I ain't got respect for a lot of rappers, man.
Like the God Box.
It's hard to know, just like politics, it's hard to know who believe the shit they believe and who is using it as a platform to gain something.
Yeah.
It's hard to know.
It is.
You know, it's the same for hip hop. You know, it's just that the way Killer Mike and Killer Mike daddy a police officer. You know, for whatever that has done for his perception of America, or how he looks at the Second Amendment and shit like that. You know, but a lot of what he said has made me evaluate somehow what I look at it. And that's what makes it difficult when people that you value end up doing or saying something that you have a problem with. Because, like, that interview, I had a problem with that, because it implied, just like all the right wing and all the NRA want you to believe, is that protest was about getting rid of the Second Amendment and taking guns away. Yeah. When in reality, each person that marched out, it meant what it meant to them. The motherfucker that is from a Second Amendment family can go out, and their purpose for going out being to honor those 17 deaths. And the people who want the Second Right Amendment abolished, that can be their cause for going outside. But when you assert that that's what you believe is for that person, you have politicized the situation. Mm-hmm. Killer Mike, in that interview, politicized that situation, which would cause his followers to look at somebody different, which would cause white people to say, look, there go a black rapper.
And you know that's what they finna do.
What, you know, who think that y'all should keep y'all guns.
And there's this black friend interviewing him. See, y'all get along.
Yeah. So
like, what the fuck?
That's what, man, that should be getting under my skin, man, because it's just like, nigga, Why do people trust white people in general? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going because
they have good credit.
But that sounds crazy when I say that, right?
It does a little bit.
But look,
Credit's
okay,
good. There you go.
But when you look at the history of this country and the way that black people have been treated, why would you ever just give somebody the benefit of the doubt like that? Real shit. When a new white person comes into my life, and I'm sorry for the viewers, if this sound racist or whatever, I'm not racist, but this is a defense mechanism. When I first meet a white person, you come into my life at a deficit, motherfucker, until you prove.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, that's with anybody to a certain extent, but especially just because of the shit that's I mean, it sounds a little extreme, I know.
No,
but
okay.
It does.
Well,
I have a countdown clock until you say nigga. When you come into my life and you're white, it's just a matter of time.
Right. And that's, yeah.
I've had friends that I've been cool with, and when Trayvon Martin, I think that was probably the first major one, I started looking at him. You know what I'm saying? Because like there hadn't been anything that happened for me to like know how they felt about black people as a whole, right? Like me and them were cool. You know, they kind of was okay with other black people. So like nothing had really happened that made me be like, you know what I'm saying? Like they were okay.
Yeah.
Trayvon Martin, these things started happening. The post that they were making, I was like, oh,
right.
Okay.
That's
so
how
that's how
you
you
feel.
feel.
But that's what I'm saying. Because
Gotcha.
eventually, right.
I understand.
Eventually, if somebody has it in their heart, eventually it's gonna come out, right?
Yes.
But I'm cordial with everybody. Cordial with white, black, whatever. You know what I mean? But look, I'm looking at you like, oh, that motherfucker finna come out the bag on my ass one day. I'm waiting for it, right? Because that way you ain't disappointed when it happens. It's like, oh shit, okay. Well, it's
Finally.
that.
Yeah. Finally.
You know what I mean?
Shit,
like,
we get to the core of this shit. Finally, man.
Yeah.
We can all breathe
I mean,
now.
you know what? And I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but I'm no longer dating white men. That's out.
Was it because of the ghetto gagger comment?
oh, that was wild.
That was
yikes.
really fucking terrible. It ain't even because of that.
Yeah.
But the more that I when I was going out with white men, I recognized that there's a level of understanding that I don't feel like they're gonna be able to rise to.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And so when shit like this does happen, when injustice does happen, I don't feel like they're gonna be, and it isn't because it's not like their fault. They just aren't able to have the level of understanding that I would want, and I don't know that I would be completely comfortable like with my family. And I say nigga a lot.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm not gonna be comfortable with them saying nigga.
Right.
And there's just a lot of things that I started thinking about in looking at a long-term relationship with somebody of another culture, and I just recognized that
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be able to do it.
If you dated a guy for about a year and found out he was a Republican, he was black, is that going to kill everything?
I don't know how we would date for a year and I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, that wouldn't even last.
I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like some shit would be said beforehand that I'd be like, nigga,
probably good as hiding it.
Nigga, what? So what? No.
Probably good as hiding. I mean, niggas.
I make enough Trump jokes.
Yeah.
For somebody to challenge me on that, and I'd be like,
yeah.
Wait a minute.
Well,
Wait.
You support what?
What?
that
Are you a Republican?
That and I work for a nonprofit where most of the people that we service are lower income people from project areas in Birmingham. And I talk about work a lot. So like somebody that's a Republican, I feel like hearing me talk about the shit that I talk about, they gonna say something at some point that I'm gonna be like, bitch, what the
He might like you.
Yeah,
he might be like, let me keep this a secret until we
But
get
you
married.
heard some of my stories. Like I don't think a lot of my like some of them maybe, but I think at some point I would say some shit where they would be like, well, they just need to, they're deciding to stay in this hood.
Man,
And,
listen,
what I'm saying? I feel like that would happen at some point.
I feel
I
like
love the hood, nigga. Man, I still love the hood, nigga. Shit.
I'm not gonna say that white people that come into my life come in at a deficit. I'm not gonna say that. As with what I was talking about with relationships, I measure people based on their character, on their interaction with me, and on things of that nature. So my life, the friends I invite to my life, is more like you know how you seen a movie where people walk up to a little big metal door and they knock on it and fucking open up with the eyes.
What's the
and you
secret
look
word?
down, what's
See what the password?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that situation is for everybody. Like, you got to infiltrate my system on a more deeply level. But what that does do as it pertains to interaction with white people, the ones that do get in, I do understand that there are nuances with race that they not gonna look at me eye to eye with.
Yeah,
and there are things they never gonna tell me about their racist grandmama that say nigga all the time. You know, because I feel like every white person got a racist, an overt racist in their family.
Especially here. Oh,
I feel like I say that, you know, I say that, but if it's not every, I feel like a lot of them have
more
that.
often than not.
And you know, that's my theory as to why white people, it's so easy for them to brush off racism and is hard for us, because what they do is they convince us that it don't exist. But I know in their world, they talk to a whole bunch of people and they talk to a whole bunch of racists all the time who ain't willing to be racist in front of us.
Right.
So we gasp and all every time, you know, somebody say nigga, but they be like, it's no big deal. It ain't no big deal to you because your Uncle Jim Bob say that shit all the time, referencing somebody like me. You know what I'm saying?
What's the problem on point? It's just a word.
See,
doesn't mean anything.
But then don't fucking say it. If it's just a word that doesn't mean anything, you should be all right with not saying it.
It's just a word.
No, the new thing is I don't want anybody to say it.
Kiss my ass.
You know, well, we ain't gonna stop Trump from saying it when ain't nobody recording.
Look, man, I'm so tired of that argument, man. I'm so tired of white people trying to tell us what we can do within our culture. Fuck you. If I want to call my nigga, that's my nigga.
But they want to do what we do. Like, they want to do it.
So
AC Blow, they want to be cool like us.
But it ain't even about. It's not, I don't even think it's about being cool. I think that so rare is it for white people. We get told we can't do shit all the time. Like, that's just part of being black in America. It's a lot of shit you can't do.
Yeah.
They don't get told that a lot.
No.
And so, like, I think that to have something that they can't do is like, well, why not? I can do everything else. Why can't I do this thing?
Included in your shenanigans.
But again, the example I always go to is I had a gay friend, and he didn't say the F word himself, but like I've been around other gay people that use that word. I would never fucking say that word ever, because I know that it's offensive. I know that it's rooted in a lot of ugly shit. And so the fact that they call each other, that ain't got shit to do with me. And I don't feel like I'm hurt because I can't say it. I don't feel left out because when you guys are saying it, like, that never happens. It don't bother me. I don't have to say it.
Because we've been oppressed for so goddamn long. Shit, we don't be knowing how to get included with different shit. We've been oppressed.
It don't bother me. So, like, when people say, well, you guys say it, or why can't we say it, or everybody needs to start saying, like, I don't understand that argument, because there are other cultures that have words that they use that were used against them, that they use like with each other. I never ever feel like I should be able to say it because y'all will say it. But like you say,
it's that entitlement.
It's the entitlement.
Because I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers. This is a little bit deviating from what we're talking about, but we were talking about Trump and Kim Jong-un, right? Okay, so he wants North Korea to disarm, no nuclear weapons, right? And so my coworker was like, that makes sense. He's a crazy guy. He shouldn't have nukes. And so I said, right. So I said, well, you're a proponent for the Second Amendment. You say that armed society is a polite society, right? So why wouldn't that be the same on the international stage?
Yeah.
You know? And so he was like, oh, I never thought of it like that. But
motherfucker, they gotta protect themselves too.
But that's the entitlement. I'm white. I can have nukes. America, we can have nukes.
But everybody else can't.
The rest of the world can't have it. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? This never even occurred to him. He really was looking at me like, well, what the fuck? Like, you know? I mean, it's just like they really don't have a concept of it.
I've told the example that I've used for as America goes that represents that entitlement is that, you know, white America was founded by white people, and so I figure it's akin to, you know, inviting somebody to your house, which I feel like white America believed that they invited us to their house and said, make yourself at home.
Right.
You know,
come on in here and build my
when you
shit.
get home, you kick your shoes off, you rearrange your furniture, you do everything.
Yeah.
But if you go into their house after they say make yourself at home and start moving furniture and shit, they gonna come and say, what the fuck you doing?
Right.
You're supposed to be serving drinks.
Right.
And I think white America, you know, and I always try to say, I ain't talk alt-white America.
Alt-white America.
I don't want, see, what I don't want is,
look,
I don't want my message being validated by good white people, which I don't know what the fuck we're going to do with good white people. We'll have that conversation later. But I don't want that message validated by good white people who would say, but not me.
But,
you know, so
but
let's
watch
say
this. The good white people still got this entitlement thing going on.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody got the entitlement going on, and I think that's that part of white America where they say, "Come in, make yourself at home," but they really mean, "Don't move none of my shit. Sit down on my shit the way I got it. Don't disrupt. Don't protest. Don't try to talk about figuring rules. If you say some bad shit happened to you because you brown, it ain't true." You know what I'm saying? I get first dibs on everything. Affirmative action. You know what I'm saying? I lost a job to affirmative action to somebody before. You know, that same little dialogue that we get from you know, quote unquote good white people. You know what I'm saying? They got that same shit. You know, so I ain't trying to say that they ain't involved in it.
Right.
You know, they don't believe they are. That's why they a whole nother thing to figure out what in the hell to do with.
Right.
But that's how they treat America. Like, this our house. We invited y'all here. Don't fuck with nothing, but we'll tell you to make yourself at home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we're treated. And that's how brown people are treated. And you know what? From the nuclear example, it seemed like that's how America feel about the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, America first is, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You know, and we got a president that's indicative of American society. Period. Nobody wants to admit this shit, right? It's like, oh well, people didn't vote, or everybody got every excuse in the book. Nigga, he reflects what America is. Period. I mean, real shit, man.
He speaks to a lot of people. I'm not gonna say all of America feel like that, but I know a good chunk.
No, he's saying like it's a representation of what the ugly. That America don't want to separate themselves from Trump, but Trump is what a lot of American society is.
Yeah,
but they want to separate it and like, oh, he just crazy. Like, no, this is there's
a lot of people that's just like, oh yeah, he's speaking the truth.
No, he's crazy, and so are y'all.
What truth is he speaking?
Your truth. That ain't my truth. Shit.
This man literally said millions and millions of people voted illegally in California.
Yeah.
That is categorically false. That is not true. There is nothing true about that shit.
They never said you had to be smart to be the president, brother.
There's a lot of dumbass leaders that just know how to lead. The problem
he don't
is
even
Trump
know how to
don't
do
know
that.
how to lead.
No. He doesn't.
Trump, because
stock market doing dips and rolls and doing the Tootsie Roll and shit.
The first year he was in office, that shit stayed stagnant. It was high. It was the highest it ever been, and it's stagnant. And we're good.
They still had a little bit of a lid on him, but now he just don't give a fuck. And so now we're gonna do tariffs on China, and we're gonna do tariffs on they don't have a lid on him anymore.
We got two more years.
So what?
I said we got 2 more years of this shit.
We may not make it.
And we not apart. Now, when you're leading on your own, then that's one thing. But when you're leading a group of people, getting valuable input and perspective from different people is important.
He don't want that.
That's the problem with him. One, he's not a natural leader.
Nope.
He is a businessman.
Exactly. He's a successful businessman. That should tell you everything that you need to know.
Success
is very subjective.
That's
in this
subjective because he
situation.
got a bunch of bankrupts under his belt.
He's successful in making his people believe that his name is worth shit. That's what his success was at. Now, whether his name is worth some shit or not, that is to be seen.
Subjective.
Well,
success is subjective.
We know he worth $3 billion now. We know that for a fact, right?
I don't know.
Is he?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any tax returns yet.
I know.
Well,
they won't pull them out. I need to see tax returns. I'm still waiting on MSNBC to give me the real tax return. I remember they was like, we got Trump's tax returns.
I know, everybody was like,
yes. And that shit was like 95.
Right.
It was 1995 tax returns. They ain't telling me shit.
It didn't have nothing problematic. Like,
yeah.
So they came out like it was some real nigga shit. Like,
we got him. We got him here on MSNBC, and I tuned in like a fool. I was like, I want to see these tax returns.
Right.
Guess what? Nothing. I don't know what the
same
short haircut
when those 95 came out. Donald Trump ain't taxed.
Yeah,
but this is my thing with that, right? Like, you got to come up with all kind of information to buy a house or whatever the case may be. It's a lot of paperwork involved. But for some reason, to be president of the United States, you don't have to show your tax returns if you don't want to.
No, you don't. You don't have to do that. Why? Why do I have to do that?
That's insane.
You can't even purchase a car without proof that you got. Like most things in life, you don't just get. Right. There's all these things that you have to do. All of these steps,
bruh. That's democracy. the level to which you can the levels to which you become successful in democracy as a politician is how many dumbass people you can get to write your name on a piece of paper.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
He was very good at that.
Damn.
It was like, come on. It's me. It's Trump, baby.
Donald Trump.
It's Trump.
Donald Trump don't market himself
Come on,
to the people that got some sense.
No, he doesn't.
He market himself to the people that done had bad experience with Latinos.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, rednecks. I got you.
Exactly.
You know, and look.
Well,
they're
don't just
taking
say
your jobs
rednecks
away.
because there was a lot of suit and tie motherfuckers. That
Well,
was just like,
yeah, that's true.
I like what he's talking about.
But particularly
We're gonna
with
go
the
with
rednecks, because they really don't have nothing to gain. The suit and tie business owners and stuff have something to gain, right? I was going to Destin and seen all these dilapidated ass houses on the side of the road with these Confederate flags. And I'm sitting there looking at them like, y'all voted for Trump and y'all still ain't got shit. Y'all still in this motherfucker struggling.
And gonna be.
We gotta give it time, AC.
No,
boy. We
it
gotta
ain't
give it time. We have to give it time. When his second term comes up, we'll be all right.
Well, see,
We'll be good to go.
That group
Man.
of Americans look at Trump as something that is possible to attain in our system. They don't look at that shit as a system that subjugates them and keeps them from being able to attain that
Of course.
shit. But see, that's what Republican propaganda has done for that mindset. It made them say, we can get that shit one day, as opposed to black people who was told in their face, you can't have this shit because your ass is black.
Yep.
We
Right.
know what the system do. We know what that shit look like. That's how we know that those kind of ideals that Republicans have, they ain't made for us.
No, but that's the thing too. This motherfucker was beefing with the Republicans. He was dogging every Republican. He was like, he ain't
still
shit.
is,
Yeah.
He ain't shit.
His
I'm
whole-
kicking his ass out when I get in office. He
But
was
he
killing
got-
these
replaced his whole
Republicans, and they
cabinet
still was
with
like, you know
a
what?
section.
He got them multi-layered messages. Yeah, for the rednecks that done had bad experience with Latinos, and he's saying they taking y'all jobs away, which they ain't got jobs no way because they on welfare and Medicaid too.
Right.
That message is for them.
And the black people who he was just like, well, the Democrats didn't do shit. Look at the state you're in now.
What
They
you
didn't
got
do
to
nothing.
lose? Your
You got
schools
nothing to
ain't
lose.
shit.
Come on with me.
You
That
ain't
tax break-
working.
That tax break he just took out ideally is for the middle class Americans. So if you didn't have bad experiences with Latino population, they believe they gonna get extra money on their paycheck. You know,
No.
the government just didn't tell them that extra money is $50 more. You know, every 6 months.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like you getting pennies back while they getting millions back.
Yep.
And you're supposed to be happy with that. And you know what? You are.
Some people.
Because you're in
'Cause I
love with the
wouldn't.
idea. You're not actually in love with the reality.
Say, you know what? You are. Yeah, you are. You happy with that shit?
Right. So
No, I'm not. I'm
up
not
your cell
happy with
phone
it.
plan or some shit, right? I mean, really, what is that really accomplishing, right?
Nothing.
That's not putting nobody in a better financial situation, right?
Ain't gonna put you in no better home. It ain't gonna get you no better car. It ain't gonna none of that.
We went from damn guns to talking about. I did not want to. I'm tired. I don't want to talk about Trump no more. I'm
I
tired
don't
of this
need it,
nigga,
but
man.
it's something you
I
can't.
like
See,
talking
y'all,
about guns and
this
killing
shit
and
blowing
escaping.
over for us.
Yeah.
We had talked about Trump on the podcast for a while. On
Yeah, we
purpose.
were trying to
I'm
avoid
the one
it.
who bring up Trump related shit, and we be in here, and I have Trump shit on my phone or on my notes, and I be like,
Nah.
I ain't talking about that shit.
Yeah.
Like we just can't. It's too much.
It's too much,
I don't
man.
watch the news. I haven't
I
watched the
stopped.
news
You
in like
have to.
stopped
You
for
have to
weeks.
take a break, or you will go crazy.
Yeah.
Like you just have to take a break.
But I
from
watch
it.
all the news
I don't.
because
Fuck it.
yeah, what I tell people is the news is just breadcrumbs to making your own, doing your own research and make your own deduction and assumption about what your reality is.
Right.
You know, news
So
is
how do
gonna
you do
tell
that? How do you do that when it's a slant on every fucking thing?
Well,
you have
that's why the news is breadcrumbs. You know, if I watch CNN, if the dude on the right say, you know, they taking all your guns away, and the dude on the left say, ain't nobody taking your guns away, you know, and all that's triggered from an event, let me go see what this event was about.
Right.
And let me see how I feel about that event.
It's-
Look, I don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? I don't really give a fuck about what other people say about that event. When them kids got shot at the school, I had my own shit. I work in the schools.
Right.
I go directly into schools. I don't think, what the fuck if I go into a school one day and I see a motherfucker walk in the front with an AR-15? What the fuck? Like, I got my own opinions about that shit. What
Right.
did that make me want? Did that make me, if I'm in a school and a boy walking with an AR-15, do that make me not want that boy to, do that make me want that boy to not have an AR-15? Or would I be happy if he had a pistol and a fucking shotgun?
Right.
I'm gonna be happy if he had none of that shit. But would I also want any teachers or administrators to be walking around with guns while my black bearded ass is walking around there looking at
Hell
their
no.
kids and I don't work at the school? You know what I'm saying? Like, I I thought about my own shit. I don't need no political figure to tell me what. All I need CNN to do is inform me about a situation going on. Okay, what's going on with North Korea? Because sometimes I'll go into, okay, let me go see what the armed shit with North Korea is about. Let me see what a little bit of their history is about. Let me put this shit in a greater context. Right. News is just breadcrumbs for me for other shit that I want to find out about.
Right.
And I go look it up.
The biggest thing is, I keep telling people, news now than the way it was 20, 25 years ago is different because of social media age. Like now, everybody can be a news person. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could be putting their the way the news cycles are now. They have to jump ahead of people who got these. Right. You get what I'm saying? Or they have to jump ahead of the people who are on YouTube now. You know, you got the Young Turks and all these other type of news places on YouTube now. For the big guys like CNN, Fox News, NBC, all of these places to stay relevant, they have to be the first ones. Now, that means not always having the full story, because I have to beat this kid who's on a cell phone, putting this stuff up on their Instagram, on whatever else is going on.
And then it's going to get viral.
Before it goes viral. 25 years ago, CNN was viral. You get what I'm saying?
But
they have
to... That's the big... Did y'all see this clip with Sinclair of Sinclair's news broadcast that they were spreading upon all the local news stations?
No, I didn't see that.
So there's this group called Sinclair, and they basically acquire all of the local news stations.
Oh, I did see that.
And they had this non-negotiable script that they needed everybody to read about how democracy was under attack and how fake news was doing this and doing that.
And they had to read it.
They put together a whole, it was like 25 different ones playing at the same time with the same words going. So we're not just talking about social media having that impact. We're talking about people who are actually trying to curb news, like the Koch brothers and Sinclair, who are saying, this is what y'all got to say. Right. This is one of the reasons why the Trump administration right now is trying to block the Time Warner AT&T merger. Yeah. Because Time Warner is over CNN, and, Donald Trump was, at CNN's ass, you know what I'm saying, about fake news, and it became a problem. So he don't want them to merge because he don't want more people to be able to say fake news. But I tell people, ain't no such thing as fucking fake news. There might be a mislabeled article or headline, but the news is literally, this is what we think happened, everybody's opinions.
Right. Yep.
That shit can't be fake. It's all subjective. It's from the lenses of a bunch of different people, and it's from systems that make mistakes, and it is from systems that have a slant, have a curve on it. But at the end of the day, you're supposed to be looking at that shit for yourself to find out where you're gonna go with it.
Right. But see, the problem is the masses are not gonna do the research. Right. Yeah. They're gonna see a headline, they're gonna read a story, maybe, and then they're not gonna do the research on it.
I'm just gonna look at the picture.
Yeah.
Like,
and
man bit the dog.
And then on top of that, as far as social media is concerned, I mean, we have foreign governments that are influencing what's on our social media and influencing elections and stuff like that. That's a whole nother layer to it. So like that's scrambling up the perception of what's actually going on in the world further. So you got the news outlets that have a slant, you got people that don't do the research, and then you got social media that could or could not be true, And it's
that's why I feel like somebody like you should watch the news if you would do your research. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you would do, if you don't want to fuck with the news because it fuck your day up, don't watch the news. Yeah. But if you're the kind of person that can stomach the news and knows that it means, I need to look into some more shit about this, then what depth would it give to because you without watching the news just gave your coworker a new perspective that he never even fucking thought of about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I watch it, but I have to take extended breaks. Like I probably have to take another week off and then tune back in. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of times I go to CNN, YouTube, and I just watch clips about the main shit, and then now I know about 4 things, and I need to be looking up my own shit about.
I think a lot of times the news just beats you over the head with the same bullshit. Sometimes, that's the shit that pisses me off. Is like, I hate shit, repetitive shit all the time. Like, fuck that, man. Like, I want to hear other shit going on. Like, I know it's more than just that going on. You know what I'm saying? Right. They hit you with the same shit all the time. Like, okay, like this must be a slow news day because they still talking about the same bullshit they were talking about yesterday.
If you want a big variety of shit, you gotta go to HLN. Headline news talking about so much shit.
Yeah, they
CNN and Fox News, they hone in. Well, Fox News hone in on the shit CNN hone in on because they need to give an alternative perspective of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, but it's headline news, they have stories about police officers buying donuts for the whole community and shit. You know, they just got all kind of random shit. You know, they hit on the main stuff, but it's certain news outlets you can go to for that. But we've been talking for so long. We have got to wrap it up. We don't got time for nothing else.
Damn. We didn't even talk about Cardi B's album.
Oh, man.
We were about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
God damn.
15 minutes, 15 more minutes ain't gonna hurt nothing. Fuck it.
No, let's go. We got to choose one last thing to talk about then. Is it going to be Cardi B's album?
Yeah, that's something light.
Okay.
So, fuck her album.
Damn, nigga.
Wait, but let me explain what I mean by that.
Damn.
Hell no. Wait a minute. Hear me out. I say fuck her album because it wasn't made with me in mind. Okay? The same way that I talk shit about Be Careful when that song came out because it's ass and she can't sing and it's garbage. Be Careful is not a breakup song for me. Okay? X Factor from Lauryn Hill, absolutely. Like, Lauryn Hill, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, that whole fucking album. Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy was not written for me. And that is evidenced by the fact that I hate every song on the album. All of her songs remind me of somebody else. Bick and Head reminds me of Project Pat. Get 10 or whatever that song is remind me of Meek Mill. Drip remind me of Migos because she got the whole fucking thing is just Migos. Be Careful remind me of Dej Low. Like, every time I hear a song by her, it reminds me of another artist. Like, I'm never like, oh, Cardi. It's always like, oh, Meek. Oh, Project Pat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think of other artists. With every song I heard on her album, I could put that flow or that style to somebody else. Like, I haven't heard anything from her that makes me feel like she is an individual. I feel like she's just biting off of people's style, like every song.
That's rap.
I don't think that's
rap for a long time.
There are artists that I listen to and that when I hit a song, it makes me think of them. It doesn't take me somewhere else. Her whole album, every song I listen to, and let me just be honest, I didn't get through the whole thing because the first few I was like, and I had already heard Bodak Yellow, I had already heard Bartier Cardi, I had already heard Be Careful and Drip, so I didn't even need to listen to those.
I didn't get past track number 6.
Oh yeah, cause
I'm gonna let y'all know right now.
Is that Rain?
She must it's 5 or 6. The track with Chance
the
Gambino in.
Chance the Rapper. Nigga, I was like, she did not get childish.
The one with Chance.
Don't ever confuse them.
No, they were finna put out. They were finna put out a duo album at some point.
And I don't need that.
They were connected.
You don't think it'll be good?
I like them cats.
I don't like Chance. I'm sorry.
Why you don't like Chance?
Chance is. I don't like Chance.
I like acid rap. His studio album was definitely different than acid rap in 10 days.
See, that's somebody else I'm suspicious of about this wokeness, right? Because acid rap wasn't woke. That album.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Why did you not like the Chance the Rapper song on her album?
The first line of the song
the very first line.
I'm like Big Pop, represent Biggie.
Lord.
Mixed with Tupac. I'm like Machiavelli.
Man.
I cut that shit off immediately. I don't know if she followed that shit up. I don't know if it's contextual. You know what I'm saying? But she mustered up her mouth to say that shit. And not only did she muster up her mouth to say it, she made sure that was the first thing you goddamn heard when you were waiting for the fucking words to drop.
How dare she say that?
How dare she?
How dare she fixed her mouth to say the shit like that? Even if she did say it and fixed her mouth like that, I'd be like, bitch, what you finna say? But she said it, and it was the first thing. I'm sorry.
I mean, all I gotta say about Cardi B is like, man, if you a casual fan and you just like the beats and the fact that she can flow a little bit, and you don't care about she not writing her stuff, she not original with what she doing, then okay, that's cool. But I'm like, I'm a hip hop head, so I'm listening to this shit like, you are what's wrong with hip hop, Cardi B. You are what's wrong with hip hop. She's a manufactured caricature of a rapper, man.
You mean like Nicki Minaj?
Like Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, we the same.
Like most of the people
Nicki
on the radio.
Minaj still ain't came out with nothing since 2014. Still gonna throw that.
And the shit that she kept coming out
She
with.
got Lit on Flames.
What?
By Remy Ma.
Oh yeah.
She had she got set
Remy
on fire.
Remy torture.
She did.
I said,
that shit don't count.
It wasn't no 50
It was
Cent
like
Ja
one.
Rule type
It was one
situation.
song.
Right.
The other songs was Young Money.
Well, yeah. Well, no. That Barbie Reloaded. Whatever her little alternate.
Pink
like,
Pink,
it was the
all
same motherfucking shit. I hated this shit. Like, all her albums got the same goddamn name. Like, it's the same shit. Like, it was too much. I was never a fan. We hadn't started the podcast yet, but I had plenty of conversation with you about her and how she's a caricature. Like, all them voices and shit. Like, I could never get with Nicki because I felt like she was a gimmick. It was gimmicky.
No, mixtape Nicki Minaj was good.
Listen to some real hip hop. Like real female MCs like Rhapsody.
I love Rhapsody.
You got Jean Grey. People don't even know who the fuck she is.
Jean Grey is dope.
Who else? Tink. I like Tink a lot.
She just dropped a project.
I gotta listen to that.
She just dropped some last week. She just dropped something. Cash Doll's pretty dope. I like Cash Doll.
I haven't heard her yet.
Let me go ahead and give you this. So Cole Jackson is also a co-owner of BYNK. Excuse me, BYNK Radio.
Thank you.
So he
for all your underground.
He likes underground. It does underground hip hop.
Some good conversations then.
Yes, go to my website bynkradio.net. We also have interviews. We just had an interview with a young lady named Sean Rose. She is a multi-talented singer, actress, all kinds of stuff. We will have that up, ready to listen probably tomorrow. Well, Sundays we usually put up the listening time. So
Schoolie Escobar, his project dropped already.
Schoolie just dropped a single called Pipe Wrench. It is gonna be a stripper's anthem.
That's why he got the dark skinned bitch with the ass.
Yes.
She's gorgeous.
She's
fucking gorgeous.
I went to his private listening party. That's neither here nor there. We're talking about Cardi B.
Cole is everywhere.
Well, it's neither here nor there right now. Okay, Cardi B. Let me throw this out here right now.
Terrible artist.
She got 13 tracks. No, Cardi's first album, real album. This is made for the radio. A lot of these songs you're going to hear on the radio.
Oh, we don't play music on our show.
I know.
Oh, okay, I thought you were going to play it.
No. It's a song called Ring with Kalani. I don't even like Kalani like that. But that song's dope. She's got some good radio hits. Is this something that's going to change hip-hop? No. Is it something that's going to have people? She's already went gold, by the way.
Well, but let me say this about gold.
I got something that's going to trump everything that every one of y'all said.
Okay.
Cardi has a cosign from Oprah Winfrey. Yes, Oprah Winfrey says, listen to that new Cardi B album, nigga, you made. If Oprah cosign you,
I mean,
really?
If Oprah cosign your shit,
Oprah listen to that song that start off, this is for all my nasty hoes.
Look. First of all, Oprah is the biggest hypocrite, dog.
Wait,
but look,
nigga, I do not want to get killed if they roll up in here. Look, you fucking around with the wrong motherfuckers. Some people that you talk about. She will have your ass disappear. You got to drive back.
I got to drive back.
Somebody stay on the phone with him while he's driving back home, because he might not make it.
But look, she always got all this negative stuff to say about hip hop. Like, she was grilling Jay-Z about using the N-word. She didn't have Ludacris as part of Crash when they came onto her show.
Look, man.
She's not a proponent for hip hop. But all of a sudden,
woke then.
Huh?
Oprah wasn't woke then.
She ain't woke now. The fuck is you talking about?
Woke now and talking about go get that Cardi B
album? Gail. She was talking to Gail.
No.
Gail got her straight, man.
No.
I'm trying to tell you.
No.
Man, listen,
Cardi B got a cosign from Oprah, nigga.
Let me talk about her going gold, because when I saw that Bodak Yellow was included on this album and it came out so long ago, I was like, But so what happens is, because she's gone gold as far as streaming, not sales, right?
Yeah.
They take the streams from the individual songs. Bodak Yellow got a shit ton of streams because that fucking song been out for so long. So when I saw that she went gold, I was like, well, of course she did, because that song, and Bartier Cardi has been out since before Christmas.
Cardi.
Like,
I know, Offset.
So
Cardi riding on Offset, like, bitch.
Here's the thing: the industry is all the way fucked up now since streaming came in. They didn't really when music was getting downloaded and stuff. They didn't adapt to that shit. Now they're adapting to it. Now they're fucking up a lot of things as far as like how sales are listed or how things are done. So I can see where you're coming from. To be completely honest, I also can see that album actually really everybody root for Cardi right now.
But
I can actually see her shit going gold for real because people root for her.
I feel like if you remove the streams for not even Bartier Cardi, leave that on. If you take off Bodak Yellow, Cause look at how long ago Bodak came out, and it was everywhere.
But that single, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that single probably went platinum. That still does not matter because if it's a part of the work, the whole album, that shit don't stick. I mean, people might have bought the album because of the song being on the album or streamed it because of the song.
No,
but
that doesn't. It goes into why it's gold so quickly.
Nah, ain't nobody want to hear that shit no more. Don't nobody. People have the streets have been waiting on this album.
Have. What I'm saying is,
yes, nigga, you got New York fucked up. Because New York is really rooting for this chick, man.
Okay.
New York, now.
The New York streets.
I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say this. New York feel like they so much better than everybody else in the United States when it comes to hip-hop.
Cole has a vendetta against New York. I do not know what.
Yeah,
he hates New York.
Don't mean shit to me.
I don't know if it's because he lived in Cali. Maybe it's an East Coast, West Coast thing because he lived in Cali for a while, but he fucking hates New York.
I agree with that. But New York is the Mecca, though. We got to at least acknowledge that.
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't though.
Compton is the Mecca for me.
But I'm talking.
Period.
But what? Okay.
Gangster rap is the Mecca for me.
That is the Mecca for gangster rap, probably.
Rakim didn't have me. You know who got me into hip hop? The DOC. I listened to the DOC and I was like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Not no Rakim, even though Rakim is a god.
So where did DOC get it from? Where did all them West Coast
DOC
artists
from Texas?
No, but I'm saying they influenced everybody in hip hop. Been influenced by New York. Let's be honest.
Those guys are. They made it, but we made it better.
Okay, well, hey, that's an opinion. That's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. I respect that.
We made it better.
But I think all the best rappers come from New York.
I'm glad you looked at it that way. Now you tell Scarface, Bun B, you tell DOC, tell Snoop, you tell them niggas that and see what they say.
No. I know they'll disagree, but I'm not saying that there ain't dope MCs that come from other places in the country, right? But you ask each one of them who their biggest influences were. Bet you they say somebody from the East Coast. Bet you.
No, brother.
Hey, man.
Oh, we got to wrap up the show. I'm sorry. We'll have to have this conversation after the show.
Right.
But Cardi, I'm rooting for you, Cardi. This album ain't shit, but guess what? I'm still rooting for you, girl, because you went from stripping to now look at you. You're pregnant by Offset. That's a stripper's dream right there. Yes. You got a gold album. You pregnant. The world is your oyster. You running it up right now.
But she's securing bags on several fronts. You know what I'm saying?
What other fronts you securing them on?
He's saying with a kid that got major loot. So if she did have this album, she good. But she got this album.
Offset is a hamburger away from being broke, brother. He gonna fuck up and fuck that money up, man.
Who you say, Offset?
Yeah.
So is Cardi. You think Cardi gonna make smart decisions with her money?
Strippers know how to save money, nigga.
That's when they struggling. She got a plethora. She don't have a mindset. Like I can see
strippers are hustlers, nigga.
They are.
Strippers are dope dealers with nakedness. That's what that is.
Never heard them described that way.
I'm just letting you know what it is.
That's fucking hilarious.
They slang pussy.
Wait, hold on.
That's what they do.
I mean, you mean dancing, not fucking, right?
Okay, yeah, because strippers don't fuck
because when you say sling pussy to me, that means I'm fucking.
Okay, but strippers don't fuck people that come in strip club.
Some strippers do.
All right.
No matter what strip club you go to.
Let's end the podcast because you ain't keeping it real right now.
Not every stripper sell ass.
Okay.
Period.
All right.
Some strippers do sell ass.
I mean, one of her songs, she said that she was stripping, not fucking. Don't get it confused.
So that's the truth.
We'll take
I don't know that I believe that.
I'm not gonna go so far as to say I like Cardi B, you know, but I hope she succeeds.
Okay.
I hope Cardi B does well.
I do too.
I don't care about motherfuckers like Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh, this.
You know,
exactly.
It's people like. I don't
but
know,
that ain't nothing
like
for 3 6 Mafia.
It's something about it's like I said. It's something about some people have that. They have something that make you feel a certain way about them. For Cardi B, I'm okay with Cardi B.
That's why I like watching Love and Hip Hop when she was on there. Cardi, I love when Cardi B was on Cardi B.
Man.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't hate her.
I like for her to survive.
I don't have nothing.
But she been through some shit, man.
I don't have nothing against Cardi. I don't want anybody to think that. I just think the album is trash. But that's my opinion.
Hustle, girl. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I got the album.
Get your money, girl.
I hope she get like that fix a flat taken out of her ass, cause like she did an interview where she was like, I got illegal butt injections. I could die at any moment. Like, it get into my bloodstream and I could die. I was like, damn. Imagine living with that fear. Like,
she ain't worried about it. All that bouncing around she doing.
Well, she can't do that no more. She pregnant as a motherfucker.
Yeah. All right, there, Cardi.
That's what happened when you have unprotected sex.
And she made a point to let everybody. I don't like condoms, bitch. Okay.
All right.
I'm looking at them old interviews.
What? It ain't like she started using condoms after that.
Exactly. What the fuck did it make her older? Obviously not because the bitch pregnant.
Responsibility comes with fame. With great power comes great responsibility.
Hey, do we need to have a conversation about where babies come from? Because obviously she ain't using no condoms currently because she's pregnant.
She can trust Offset.
You don't. Go ahead and end this because I am not going to go into trusting Offset because he just talking out his ass.
Hopefully she ain't got the clout or whatever else going to come along with it. The hurt.
Damn, not the hurt.
Well, time to
go. Well, look, man. Anybody else got any other thoughts on their mind?
No, I appreciate AC and Cole for.
Well, thanks for having me.
Man, I was so excited to get on the show with AC. I've been waiting for this moment.
I don't know why you was excited.
We can make it happen, man.
Why was you excited to meet this nigga?
AC, bro, I like when he be on the show. I like his takes on shit.
She never give me credit for nothing, man.
And she be like, "Why y'all think I'm so mean?" Gotcha.
But this was fun, y'all.
Where can they find you, Cole Jackson?
Look, you guys can find me on the Gubmint Name Podcast, and I am on Instagram at ColeJackson_B1K, and I'm on Twitter at ColeJackson12. I say this shit all the time. I can't remember. Fuck it.
Yep.
That's where you can find me.
AC Blow don't want to be found.
Anonymous as hell.
And until we come to the next conversation,
we out.
Holla.